Bam, we're live. Woo! That's close. Oh, was it? Did I miss it? Oh, I hear a hum. What the fuck is that? Oh, there we go. Oh, that's interesting. What's up, dude?
Morning.
I was running some tests in here yesterday. I did a podcast with Avi.
Oh,
Yeah, just like a not a live one. Trying to get this thing ready. Dave's coming in tonight. I think it's our first. I mean, Suze's been in here for a test run, but I don't think I've done a live show with a guest in here. I actually thought Don Fall was going to be my first guest, but it looks like it's going to be Dave. I'm going to send you the notes for Travis and did I send the wrong? Now I'm paranoid. I sent them the wrong link. Maybe I'll resend it. It's Travis Mayer first, right?
I think so. Yeah.
And then Devyn Kim.
Right.
Here, I'll resend it. Because yesterday, didn't I send the wrong link to someone and they came like 12 minutes late?
Yeah.
Which was my fault.
Alexis Raptis.
Yeah. Alexis Raptis. Yeah, her. Okay, and then I'm sending you the show notes. Here we go. Caleb. Oh, there he is. I see him cruising in. Matt Souza. Travis and Devyn show. Travis and Devyn, September 2023. Mid-stroke. You got a mid-stroke.
That's right, baby. How we doing, man?
Dude, at 6:58, I was buck naked. That usually if I look at the clock and it's like in the 50s and I'm naked, I'm like, fuck, I better hurry up. But 6:58, I'm so glad you were a little tardy yourself.
I was just finished up.
Yeah, nice, very nice.
How you
Good to
doing?
see you, dude.
Looking
Dude,
nice and gray as usual.
really? Where?
Yeah, you see this? Look.
This. Oh, yeah. Is that new for you?
No, I just don't usually let it grow out this long, so I feel like it's exposed more. Man, it really is. Wow.
I really like your I'm digging your look.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, you're looking good. You almost look rebranded. It's been so long since I've seen you. Like you rebranded yourself.
What do you mean? I saw you at the games.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
You were just too busy. Too busy at the games.
What did you think about the games being there? Like not about the games like the games in general, but what did Travis Mayer think about being at the games and like not participating but being there?
Yeah, I'm definitely not much of a fan of a spectator.
Have you ever done that before? Is that the first time you've ever been there as a spectator?
True spectator, yeah. That was the first time I've ever
God, it sucks to be you.
Watched. Yeah, I mean, I think it was good in hindsight of like getting a different perspective of how you kind of view the pressure and expectation of different things, where like as the outsiders looking in, I don't feel like I felt that as much just from like sitting there, but like watching the athletes, you can see what's happening and unfolding. And I think from that standpoint, it kind of like gave me a different perspective. But other than that, yeah, it was cool to interact with a lot of people, but I'd much rather be on the competition floor.
Yeah. Being there without a job is a skill in itself that I think if you're there with a job, it's hard to make the shift. I'm not saying it's bad to go there without a job, but like it would be weird for me to be there without a camera.
Yeah.
And just like I'm sure it was weird for you to be there and not have to perform. Like,
have you been without a camera?
Yeah, but I didn't go. Like once, like the years that they told me I could, I mean, I was in Madison, but I just pouted at our Airbnb.
Oh, was that the year that Glassman was there and you were the Coke stuff or whatever? Was it that?
It was just basically when they fired the media team. I actually went there in 2018 or 19, whatever was my last year, thinking I was going to film the behind the scenes, and I got there, and him and the current CEO were like, "No, you're not doing it." Yeah. So, that broke my heart. Dude, that's like going to the prom and your dates with another dude. It was like that.
Yeah. When because you did it this year, yeah?
Killed it, dude.
When do you get to publish that? When does that come out?
The first 3 episodes are done, and we were reviewing them, and basically we decided that the first 3 episodes really need to be 6 episodes because they're like over an hour each, but they're so awesome,
But I
dude.
feel like that's what I mean. Back in the day, that's what they used to be. People
They
loved it.
will, they will. They'll still be long, but they're just too long.
Yeah.
They're just too long. Yeah. And if I charge a quarter each to watch them, like 25 cents each, and I have like 30 of the episodes, I could be a millionaire.
Oh, so you're expected to get a lot of views.
I see it already. I see it already. When you say you got a different perspective, what do you think? What do you think that perspective?
I feel like pressure and things you put on yourself as an athlete. Like, right, I think you have to do that in order to perform and show up and be ready. But I also think sometimes it's too much, at least for me personally. And you kind of think like on the moment in the floor, people are like almost just like watching you, but then as you're like up there and like spectating, that's not the case. Like everybody's watching everything. Like no one's thinking of like that one person that like failed to muscle up or whatever. Like it's just like, okay. And then you just keep like scanning the whole floor of watching, like, yeah, you have the people you want to watch and who they're showcasing. But I think if you're like not that 1 or 2 place person like that's on the screen and like who they're actually probably like kind of watching, like the pressure is just more like, hey, you need to just execute to the best of your ability and like show up on that. And like, regardless if you start to mess up or something, it's not like you're less of a person or not as good as like what you're capable of, because like people are all seeing that, but in reality, no one's really watching it. But it's just this logic that you're thinking about internally and adding more stress to yourself.
And you got a new perspective since you weren't competing.
Yeah.
That perspective came. Yeah. I'm trying to remember which athlete I was just talking about that with. Like, yeah, the fans are happy for you if you finish or you don't finish or you take first or you take sixth. They're
Yeah.
pumped. But I do see, yeah, it's a totally different perspective than the pressure the athletes are putting on themselves.
For sure. And I mean,
Do you think it's bad if you lose that? What if maybe it's better to just be like, oh my God, everyone's staring at me. I fucked up or I did great.
I mean, I think in certain cases it can be, right? Like
Yeah.
if it pays off and you do well, then I feel like great, it's building confidence. But at the other side of that, I feel like it could be detrimental and like then you think you're worthless and not doing well on the other side of that. So
Right.
I think it kind of go both ways.
Do you enjoy the games when you compete?
Oh, some years. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be
Oh,
some years I've been there and I'm like, I'm burned out. I'm tired. I don't want to be here. That's happened. But then other years, I feel like there's the highs and lows throughout any competition that on the lows, you're like, this is not enjoyable right now. And I'm not having fun. And then on the other side of things, when you have a good workout or things are kind of going in your favor, like it's much easier, of course, to be present and excited about competing and pushing for a better place and work to climb the leaderboard or whatever it may be. But yeah, I feel like every year's been different, like different feelings, different experiences, emotions, kind of all those things.
you know, when you get married and it's like the best night of your life, or as you're building up to the marriage, you're not like, ooh, there's going to be a couple in 3 years. There's going to be a tough year coming. Oh, there's going to be this 1 year when we want to get divorced the whole year. You're not even thinking that, right? You're just like,
Yeah.
fuck, this is great. I can't wait to get a house and a car and some kids and fuck, love of my life. And holy
Yeah.
shit, like going on the honeymoon and wow, get to sleep naked in bed with this girl every night for the rest of my life. You're not even like, but the games, is it guaranteed? Is it like a relationship? Is it guaranteed there's going to be this
I think there's
moment
good and
during
bad
the
years.
games?
Like I felt like this year or last year, I felt mentally, physically prepared the most. And then the first event had
You're
this
not
weird
just saying that. You felt the most prepared this year? This
last year.
past
Well,
last year?
I got hurt this year. So
Right.
it was out, but the year before that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So then hand, or what was it? I like double hamstring cramped on the first event, ripped my hands on the chest bar in the first event. And like, I haven't ripped in years. And I was like, what just took place?
Yeah.
Then we go to the next event, climbing the pegboard. My hand slips. So I grab onto the peg and it literally just tears my whole hand apart. And like, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And this was the second event. Right. And I feel like that just kind of sets the tone where like the first 2 events, right, you have these expectations of like, showing up, really trying to like execute. You've worked really hard on these things, and then like, boom, here, let's punch you in the face on one event. Up, next event, let's just rip your hand to shred. And now you're like competing with that, and I feel like it just kind of set the tone for me. And I personally had a hard time snapping out of that. And
Do you
even
prepare for that ahead of time to snap out of it? Are you like, okay, if this happens,
I think,
eat 2
yeah,
Jolly Ranchers and slap yourself in the face?
yeah, I feel like sometimes you do, but I also feel like you have to have those experiences to learn and grow from that. Where I think I just probably mentally wasn't as prepared as I thought I was to handle the more adverse situation of that, of like, okay, what really could potentially go wrong, and then go wrong again, and then go wrong again. And I think after like the third thing, I like, Max even tried to like snap me out of it, and I was like not having it. I was just kind of like over it and just pissed off about it. And then you're ultimately ruining the whole experience in general from that. And I mean, looking back at it, you wish you could have done it a different way, but that's just not the way it works.
I want you to know, take this for what it's worth, but Patricia says that she's seen many a men tear while pegging, so you shouldn't feel.
Yeah.
It can happen to the best of them.
Yeah, it can. Oh, it did. They got me. They got me good. I was so pissed off about that.
Someone tore this year really bad that was surprised. Was it Vellner? What event was that this year that just whole hands were coming off? Something happened this year
He did
early.
legless rope climbs in semifinals.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it was semifinals? Were the ropes wet? Is that why?
They had to control the descent down.
So I think
That's what tore
like,
their hands.
hands from that.
Caleb chimes in. Well, thank you, Mr. Bieber. Yeah, those tears were nasty. Hey, is a hand tear really that bad? Does it change things?
Definitely like depths, right? Like if you get like a little callus and it kind of rips, I feel like those are kind of okay.
No,
but
I mean the really deep ones where it's just a fucking bloody mess.
Those hurt. I think then it just makes everything you do after that super sensitive to grab onto. So like any barbell work, like I remember then we had like the squat clean traverse, whatever. And when I would clean, I would just hold the bar in my fingertips because it was just like, it's painful holding weight.
So it takes the edge off. It does take the edge off. You lose a millisecond here. You lose a few pounds there because you're tentative.
Oh, for sure. And maybe that's just your soft. Who knows? But for me, I feel like it definitely changes the feeling and kind of like go get it mentality of like you're just going to be semi tentative when you're going to grab onto the bar or jump up and do toes to bar, but you're holding on more with your fingertip versus like your whole hand. And I feel like that's just going to, of course, affect the overall performance.
Vellner tore at the games. Yeah, they got infected. Yeah, I didn't know they got infected, but something did happen to him at the games that was so nasty really early on. Like so nasty. What was it?
Well, I feel like that's Vellner, right? He falls from the top of the cargo net that one year.
He needs challenge.
Yeah.
He needs adversity. Hey, Travis, there's a video of you training with the 250-pound sandbag.
Correct.
When I think of the sandbag, and when I think of going back,
like a little ball that you grab a little ball and throw you up.
Yeah, that's two of me. That's me and my wife.
5 pounds?
No, but close. That's you grabbing me and my wife and saving us from a burning building. That's you grabbing your whole family, dude, and running out of the burning building.
That's probably I don't know. That might be grabbing more than my kids.
So I know you're a professional athlete, but there's a danger component to the bag. I feel like that's not there for all the other implements. Meaning, when I saw them doing this at the games, everyone was like doing this shit with their neck, and people's backs were tweaked. And is that a dangerous thing to practice?
I don't think so. I think once
neck,
you get
spine, that doesn't.
I think once they started adding like, hey, you got to go to your shoulder now, and you're getting up to like 340 pounds and stuff. I think from the inexperience of doing that, you potentially can. But I think for most of us, like we've all carried a 300 or done shuttles with it, whatever you want to say. I think it's just becoming more normal now that you're implementing going to the shoulder with it. But I think I do it pretty frequently, so I don't feel like it's a dangerous movement if you're doing it wrong. But or if you're doing it right. But if you, of course, aren't sure what you're doing, then yeah, it's going to get a little out of hand.
.com did a video back in the day where a guy was Jim had programmed running with kettlebells, and it was run and then turn around.
Throwdown one time.
Pardon me?
At OC Throwdown, it was like you get 253 kettlebells, run. I think it was a mile. Take one kettlebell off, run another mile with one kettlebell, then run a mile without.
This was at a gym that was in Lompoc, California. This was just at a CrossFit gym, and the guy paralyzed himself and had to from the neck down just from some tweak he did. You know what I mean? From carrying that. I just feel like that bag, man. I know you guys are professional athletes, but there's just no symmetry in it, and it's just crazy weight on the spine. I don't mean to jinx you anyway. Okay, you're fine with it. You're like, fuck you, quit being a pussy, Sevan. You don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, well, what am I going to do, right? It's like you programming it. You got to figure out how to do it. So I feel like you train it and get comfortable using it, and the more exposure I feel like you can create and learn to create tension and brace and be at kind of like an odd position catching it, I feel like it'll make you set up for success rather than just being like, nah, I'm not going to do it because it could potentially lead to something where I mean, growing up racing motocross, I feel like you can't really have the fear of what could happen. Like I got run over a bunch. I had pegs go through my leg. I had plenty of things that happened and took place, but you can't think about that as you're like racing.
Second pegging experience, second pegging injury that's come up on this show in 17 minutes. I would have never thought.
Yeah.
That bag's crazy heavy, right? I mean, if you leave it in the middle of the gym, there's not very many people it's going to stay there.
Kind of. Yeah. I did just buy a 400-pound one though, but I haven't filled it up.
What do you fill it with?
Sand. You
have sand in where do you live? In Georgia?
Yeah, but I mean, you can just go to like Home Depot or Lowe's or something and get a bunch of bags and just
crazy.
Load the baby up.
What is a 400-pound sandbag for?
It's as tall as you.
I believe it. I believe it.
I don't know. I saw it on Rogue's website when I was looking to get a new replacement bag, and I was like, I don't know. I feel like this would be kind of cool to figure out how to. Yeah, look at the size of that thing.
God, I love you, Caleb. The whole time I was like, let me see this fucking thing.
Look at the difference of that. So I don't know.
How much is the 400-pound bag? Does your wife know you bought that?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you bought a $165 bag.
I did.
Hey,
does that mean you're buying it now?
Pardon me? Yeah, Caleb's getting one. Hey, I'm so curious how many of those 400-pound bags they've sold.
I would assume probably 10.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it'd be cool. I mean, and if anything, we'll of course take weight out and use it. But I mean, that year at the games, what was the heaviest? It ended at like 340, 350 for the lift.
Well, that is the thing too, right? If you want a 350-pound bag, you have to get the 400-pound bag.
Yeah. So to ultimately get it to that. So I said, we'll originally take it at 350, play with it, and then go for the 400 because I feel like it'd be cool to just be able to pick it up and carry it.
Absolutely nuts.
I feel like it's one of those things, right? Like if you squat 500, that's kind of cool. I feel like if you can carry a 400-pound bag on your chest, I feel like that'd be pretty cool.
How tall are you?
5'11".
Oh, you're tall. And how much do you weigh?
205.
Is your and how old are you?
32.
And are you Caucasian or black?
Would you like to keep going with any more questions?
Yeah. Can you put your hands behind your back, please?
Would you like my social as well?
And you have 4 kids?
Yep. Come on, you should know that. You should know that. Come on.
And any issues with well, you could throw in and a 5th one on the way.
No. Nope. 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 No more.
How's recovery? Great, beautiful family, by the way. I don't just saying that either. You're stoked.
Thanks, man.
I
think from a recovery standpoint, I spend a lot of time doing it, and then I feel like so I feel like I take more care of myself, and it's probably on a tighter time frame. But like finishing workouts, hopping on a bike or something, cooling down, ice bathing every night, and then I'm usually in bed at 9:00 and probably asleep by 9:05.
So you're having issues with recovery as you get older. That's what I'm hearing you say.
No, I feel like that's why I do recover well, is that I go to bed early. I take care of myself.
Specifically, I mean between multiple workouts in a day. I'm not worried about like your soreness of your glutes or your hamstring recovery or your shoulders. What about I think what goes in athletes as they get older is their recovery between their 8 a.m. workout and their 11 a.m. workout.
No, I feel like I've done the same for the last probably few years I feel like you just kind of get into a routine of what works. And I kind of have figured out for my body what works best. So immediately when I'm done taking a shake, then I eat. And then, or before that, then I'm cooling down on a bike, then doing some sort of static stretching or getting PT work done a few times a week. And then from there, then eat lunch and then go right into the next session. So like, right, I just finished before this, had a shake. I'll go out and do another workout probably in an hour or so. So I'll eat when we're done and then go do another one.
Spiegel, let's talk about wackadoo Marjorie Taylor Greene. No, I love Miss Green. Fuck you. By the way, if you talk to her, tell her I'd like to have her on the show. I admire her immensely. Her presence, her speaking skills, her fitness, her hair. So you're going to go to the games. You're going to be 32. What that's the plan this year, to go hard?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be doing this if I wasn't trying to go hard and go after it. I mean, I'll go Rogue first. Rogue will be what's next, then Wodapalooza, and then the whole season will kind of start over.
You said you wouldn't be doing this if you didn't plan to go hard. What do you think about Noah going to the game, going to the games with? No, going to the games this year without the intention of winning.
What's my personal thought on that?
Yeah. Let's just say no one's listening. That really bummed me out when bummed me out when he's like, he's already announcing he's going teams the next year and shit. I'm like, come on, Noah. Yeah. I bummed me out like I was mad at him, but I felt almost bad for him, like that's not the way you should do it.
I mean, I would agree to that, of like, if I knew it was my last year, right, I feel like you'd want to really dive more into that, just knowing like, hey, this is my last year as an individual. I want to like finish this as strong as possible and see where I can really take it on like the last kind of year. But I know for him, just because personally knowing him, and it was more just like he wanted to enjoy the experience of like enjoying training and getting ready for the games and like training with people, doing more class stuff, just different type of training than what I believe is setting you up for contending at the games. And right, like he's been able to do that for the last X amount of years. So I feel like to then go there on your final year as an individual and like not be near that, I would assume that would be pretty frustrating, right? Like you're going there to compete, right? And I think internally he's a competitor. So no matter what, you get there, and if it's not going the way according to plan, like you're going to be frustrated. Like even if your intent was like, hey, I'm just here to enjoy the experience, like deep down, like that has to hurt. At least for me it would, because it's like I'm there and I want to contend and try to like fight for a spot and do the best of my abilities. And I think when you get in that moment and realize maybe I should have trained a little harder or whatever, but I think he accepted that was what he agreed to do going into this season, and then just kind of accepted that that's where he ended up.
Rambler, Noah's such a good dude. Positive energy all day, for sure.
Yes, he does. 100%.
I had this friend whose girlfriend broke up with him in college. Yeah. And he asked her if he could have sex with her one last time. And she did. And I'm like, I just from my back, I was like, this is so weird.
That is weird. What does that have to do with no at the games?
I feel like that there's a bridge there. Like either go like your time is done or it's not done. Oh. I understand the desire of wanting to have sex with her one last time. You know what I mean? Like I understand. Like you think you're gonna win her over with something magical, but like,
I was just trying to figure out what you were comparing that to, but now I get it.
There's just a and my friend did, and they had sex one more time. It didn't help. It didn't help him. I think it made things worse.
Probably did.
I need to get Noah on here and ask him if he wishes he would have changed that.
Does
Do
he
you remember that? Do you remember that one year he showed up at the games and he?
Will he still not film with you?
No, I don't know. I don't know. He hasn't answered my last like 2 or 3 texts, but he's so nice to me. Do you know what I mean? Like when he finally, what?
Because he's such a nice guy.
When he finally does return my text, he'll be like there's something happened. You know what I mean? Like his dog ate his phone or something. He's not a ghoster. Like he'll be like, not now, Sevan. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's sincere to me. Someone said he's cringe. He's not cringe, Jason. You just don't. He's not cringe. He's fun. He's easy. I enjoy being around him so much.
Yes, I feel like social media sometimes portrays different. Like you think he's just that's not real, and it's like a front, but that's just how he is all the time. Like he's always
nice,
like bubbly. He's always excited. He's always like eager to do something. He's always just like a nice person.
Yeah, he's like if he was a dog, he'd be his tail's fucking on, just wagging like a mofo.
He would be his dog. Is what he would be.
Yeah, he's such a wagger. So you don't go last year. Why didn't you go?
So I had a severe bone bruise of the hook of the handmate inside my hand, and I couldn't. So it's the bone pretty much inside your hand here.
Okay. How did that happen?
Well, that's a great question. There was never like a moment. So at Wadapalooza, during the team event, me, myself, and Chandler, we finish, wake up the next morning, and I like go to press to like sit up out of the bed and can't physically press. And I was like, well, that's kind of weird. Then I was like, whatever. Like post competition, you always.
Do you have COVID? Do you have COVID right now?
No, I have sinusitis.
Oh, okay, we'll get to that in a second. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's definitely eating me up right now. It is not fun. But couldn't put any pressure on it. Went to grab my luggage, and it was pretty painful. But I was like, I'll give it a few days, and it'll probably be fine. I guess like a week goes by. Max is like, all right, you ready to jump back in? I'm like, yeah. So then he wrote some like easy overhead squat and support holds. And I went to like hop up onto the ring and couldn't even get my body weight onto the ring at all. And I was like, well, that's strange. I was like, all right, we'll give it another week. So we just did some other stuff, did some lower body, more machine work. And then we started to try something else. And I was like, I still can't put any weight on my hand, like zero. If it was like life or death, if you told me to try to hold a support hold, like I was done. Like I couldn't do it.
Because of pain, because of discomfort?
It literally felt like the bone was shooting through my hand.
Like plantar fasciitis, but on your hand?
I have no clue. I've never had that. So I don't know the feeling of that. But
you didn't want that one.
Yeah. So then ended up, I have an orthopedic here, went and got an MRI, CT, X-ray, all done. And then they were just like, it's a severe bone bruise.
What the fuck is a bone bruise?
It just about as close to a break as it could have been without being broken. He's like, you would have rather.
I thought that was like a stress fracture.
Yeah, he was like, you would have rather it been broken because I could have taken it out. He's like, so now you have the chance of being a month to 6 months before it could be recovered. So then it was around 5 months before it was fully recovered. So I just played a bunch of golf is what I did.
What do you mean he could have taken it out?
Well, if it was broken, they go in and they surgically can take that out.
You don't need that bone?
No. And then he said at like 16 weeks, you could go in and break it if we wanted to. And I was like, dude, no. You don't need that bone. You don't need it, Sevan.
Yeah, there's a whole generation of people who don't think they need another bone that they're having removed too. I wonder how that's playing out for them. Don't have any bones removed. Don't have any bones.
But no, I was just like, I already knew I was sitting the season out. So I was like, I'm already going to have to rest and take time off. So I was just going to take that time fully off. So I did.
Do you have any stories where like, and then after he told me that, I went back to the house and I opened up my Bible and Psalms 13:4 spoke to me and my wife put her arms around me. And I knew at that point that, do you have one of those?
No.
Come on, dude.
I came home. I was angry and pissed off that my season was over and then was furious.
Kicked a hole in the wall?
Yeah.
Threw one of your kids out the front door?
Yeah, I was pretty pissed off, to be honest. And then I think I came back to the gym, was like, maybe I'll try to train or do something. And then Max was like, you need to just stop. And then we kind of realized that was the end of the season. And so I took up one of my enjoyable hobbies of playing golf, and pretty much played golf every single day. And I didn't want to come
Really? Every day?
Yeah, I play roughly 5 days a week.
Did you get better?
Yeah, I was getting pretty good there.
Your hand didn't hurt when you swung?
No, with where the club was hitting it, wouldn't.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think if it wasn't to have like another hobby outside of CrossFit to like entertain myself, it would have been a pretty rough time.
Would have been child five.
Yeah, no. Nope. No. Still no.
How'd the fifth child get here? I broke my hand.
Yeah. No. I'm smart. Nope. Look, I think 4 is great. I love 4.
4 is
5.
great.
Well, hey, why don't you go for 4?
My wife, I would. My wife's like, she just says she claims she doesn't have any more eggs.
She's
But we still have to use protection. Doesn't even fucking make any sense.
Because she knows what could happen.
She's like threatening me. She's like, if you get me pregnant, I'm giving you triplets. I'm like, perfect. Can they be girls this time? I'll take 3. Do the fucking Brady bunch. I would love more. Hey, what's your ages?
Would you really?
Yeah, I would.
Like how you would really realistically take triplets?
Yeah.
Wow, savage.
I'm really enjoying it.
But I guess if you're
and I'm not doing anything. I'm not 32, dude. I'm 51. Like I'm not doing shit.
Yeah, you're just videoing behind the scenes. I guess that's all they got you doing these days. Going to skate parks and behind the scenes. That's what Sevan's out here doing.
Yeah.
Are you skating with it?
No.
What?
Hey, this is if
what? Oh, okay.
If I stand on a skateboard, literally my kids will start crying. Like they know.
You don't ever try to get on the half pipe that you have at your house?
The fuck no, dude.
Have you at all? Not one. Not one time.
I climb up there. I brush it off almost every other day, and then I air it off, and I'm scared that I'm gonna slip and fall. Yeah, I'm like, I'm old, dude. I'm old, like fragile.
Oh, that's why you strength train.
Like just in case.
Yeah, in case you fall.
They literally cry if I stand on a skateboard. They'll start crying. They'll run over. Please don't. I'm like, I look that old. They're like, they got the old dad.
How old are you?
51. I'm 20 years older than your kid's dad.
That's accurate.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
It's impressive.
My kids say shit to me like, don't worry, we won't beat you up. Even if you're mean to us now, we won't beat you up when in a few years when you're really old.
I feel like the way you're training them, they're going to be able to beat you up in about a year.
Dude. CTP cam.
Oh, get out of here.
Flash the titty. Let's talk about CTP and let's talk about your kiddies. How do you have a pretty great new tattoos,
Yep.
two cats. Why did you do that? And what do you tell your kids?
What do I tell my kids? I tell them like why I got them. Like,
okay,
so each tattoo, of course, has a meaning. There's all meanings behind every single tattoo that I've gotten. Most of the ones that I've had recently, of course, are based off of all of them. So each of them have essentially a half sleeve. So like my first one was on my left shoulder, then right shoulder, then left forearm, right forearm. And so they've all had meaning. And then this one was what I wanted. So pretty much the Black Panther and the Jaguar, of course, are coming from the same family. And then the perspective of how people view them are completely different. And what the world, I sometimes feel like I view in external viewpoints of how I view certain things versus other people, and how you can have two different complete perspectives of looking at something when ideally it can come from the same thing. So I feel like a more personal, internal, external reasons of why I got it.
And when you say perspectives, you mean like some people think one of those cats, basically it's the same cat, but one of them thinks one of them's dangerous and one of them's friendly or something like that?
Yeah, essentially. I guess that's an easy way to put it, yes.
And was there an actual thing that you were like, that inspired it? An actual like, hey, some people think monster trucks are dumb, some think monster trucks are cool?
That was exactly it. It was based on monster trucks.
Was there anything that like specific?
mean, I feel like it just life experiences and things I've learned over the years and thought about, and as I've gotten older, learned to understand and express differently. And
What are you talking about? Tell me specifically. Is there something
like
specific?
we can go on
Did
this,
you get?
or
I want to
we can,
know. Did you get in a fight with your wife, or
no,
at
no, no.
least tell me like, hey, I'm not going to tell you
Well,
specifically. How about that?
we can talk about this when you're not recording and we have an actual conversation.
Wow, wow. He's suggesting that this conversation is fake.
100% this is fake.
All right. Yeah. I love. What is it? There was a someone said something about it. The nipple in there. The nipple was tripping me out too.
Dude,
Because my
well,
dog has a bump like that on his jowls that looks like your nipple. Or
yeah,
is it-
that's fine. But
Oh.
that was some of the most pain I feel like I've ever been in. The nipple was excruciating. I guess I didn't even think about it with, like, usually like the middle of the sternum, like when it's just on the bone and they're like just shading back and forth, like it gets aggressive. But man, when he got like close to the nipple and I was like, what was that? And he was like, that's your nipple. And I was like, oh. And then then he kept going and I could feel it like radiating across to the other side.
Wow.
It was bizarre. And so like we did the Black Panther on day 1 and then day 2 went back and did the other side. So I was like,
did you make some weird noises when he does that? Like some
no, actually
No.
there's no noises. I'm actually just like sitting there and like closing my eyes, just bracing.
Do you have something in your mouth, like a mouthpiece or a wooden dowel or anything?
No, like this isn't torture.
All right.
But no,
I always have sex with a wooden dowel in my mouth. What are you
excruciating.
talking about? You don't do that.
What'd you say?
I said I always have sex with a wooden dowel in my mouth. You don't do that?
No, that might just be a personal thing for you.
Hey, I would, if anyone can take a shirtless picture of Travis Mayer and Photoshop in, not a shitty Photoshop, but Photoshop my face on his chest and Sporty Beth, I will post the fuck out of that. Please do that. That would be amazing.
But why?
Because I just like it. It's weird.
Okay.
It's sacrilege. If it bothers you, it's even better.
I don't feel like it bothered me. I feel like it'd be kind of comical.
Okay, good.
The picture of you on my chest. I feel like it'd be, or just do like something like Steve-O did, but like put you on my back, like kind of like this on my
That would be, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
You could have a whole blank canvas back there. It could be just your face.
What do you think happened to Medeiros this year?
That's a good question.
Any thoughts on it? Are you surprised? Are you surprised he took 7th?
I mean, I feel like at the beginning it seemed like there was something going on. He just looked more fatigued than usual, whether that's he got sick. I mean, like, right, like from the outsider looking in, you don't really know what someone's experiencing or dealing with. And I feel like, at least for me personally, I don't ever say a bunch of stuff of like, if I got sick or whatever happened, like that just is what it is. And there's nothing you can do about it. So I feel like talking about it more doesn't help. So I don't know. Maybe he had.
Okay, let me put you in two camps. Do you think his reign is over, or do you think he just had a bad year?
I don't know.
A bad year would be like injury, herpes flare up, whatever. Reign is over is like the field got better, or he's lost his edge, or something.
I mean, I
you
feel
think
like
you think he'll be podium again? You think he'll ever podium again, Justin Medeiros?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, I feel like whatever happened, he has to get whatever that was, whether it's a life situation or sickness or whatever. Like he's got to get that stuff figured out. But then, like the fact.
So you do think something happened? So we do agree there. Something happened. He wasn't himself.
I would agree with that to some degree.
Okay. To some degree. I like the way you're like, okay.
I love how you always go after it. You just want it. You want me still.
So do you like me or do you not like me? Come on.
I always like you. Come on, man. We were the only ones back in the day that I gave you stuff with it on the behind the scenes. Come on.
God, you're the man. What a shame. That might be I might not be invited back to do the behind the scenes. Anything could accidentally come out of my mouth between now and then and me be turned into an outside dog again.
Yeah.
That would suck if I couldn't do the behind the scenes next year and you were there.
Yeah, it would. Are you going to Rogue?
No.
Why?
I mean, I'll be covering it, but just from like here. I send my people there.
Yeah, but why don't you venture out?
So I got
old.
I got to skate. I got to clean the skate ramp.
Well, apparently you don't do a good job of that.
I do a great job.
It's
so slippery and dangerous.
Do you have a step stool you use to get up, or do you like?
No, I can. It's like a 2-foot step. I can do it.
I'm just making sure. I mean, you seem pretty scared when you're blowing off the leaves. That I don't want you to fall and get hurt.
Hey, dude, I've gone into big, like I take a leaf blower to skate park sometimes with my kids, and I've gone into big bowls.
You bring a battery one, or you got like a full gas one?
The battery one.
Of course you do.
And I've gone down into bowls.
Does it have a sticker of CrossFit on the side of it?
No, it should. has the Sevan podcast. I've gone down into these big bowls, skate bowls, and like not been able to get out for a second. Dude, one time I took my kids to a gymnastics. Yes, one time I took my kids to a gymnastic camp, and there was a foam pit there, and I was struggling to get out. Like I went in, and a lady came over, a mom, like clearly a CrossFit mom, and gave me her hand and pulled me out.
No. Oh God, that's great. Like you were stuck.
I was struggling for a bit. I was in there too long.
You were stuck.
I should have been out so kids could start jumping in. Like I took my obligatory parental jump.
Oh,
and
God. Man, I wish I could have seen that.
Yeah, that was tough. I did Murph yesterday.
Did you start panicking?
No. I enjoy the I'm like an alchemist. I can take humiliation and turn it into just positive energy.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, look, some people are paying attention.
Regardless, I still would have loved to see you just sitting there like, hey, can someone help me? I figured those low strict ring muscle ups you've been doing would help, but I guess not.
I know you'd think, but
can't get you out of a foam pit.
No.
What'd you say you did Murph yesterday?
I did do Murph yesterday. No vest. I almost died.
Like strict pull up, or did you kip?
I'll only do strict.
Oh, savage! Look at you.
I don't ever kip. The pull ups were easy. Everything was easy. It was just hot. It was just.
How hot is it in California?
I don't know, 85. I was just shutting down.
Mm.
You know what I mean? You probably don't know what I mean, but I was just like shutting down.
I've had that happen.
7th round, I did 5-10 15s. I was in 5-10 15s or 15-10 5s, whatever I was doing. And in the 7th round, I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, I wasn't okay the rest of the day. I had a headache. Oh yeah, let me ask you that. When you work out at the games, do you ever work out so hard you get a headache and it stays with you the rest of the day?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. What the fuck is that? I had a headache all day yesterday after Murph. It was fucked up. I never get headaches.
The one in Madrid, the row thruster burpee, like in the 2-minute window or whatever.
Yeah.
You had to accumulate 75 bar facing burpees. At the end of that, I was pretty messed up.
Like your head was throbbing.
Oh yeah. My head was pounding.
And I feel like my eyes kind of lose their way a little bit too. Like they need to be realigned. Like I hit a curb or something.
Definitely not in a good state. Like mentally, it's just kind of like everything's all over the place. Not seeing clearly. If you're talking, I'm like, let's just keep that to a minimum, please. I actually thought if someone came, when I was done with Murph, if someone came up to me with the camera right now, I would just be like, dude, I can't. Well, welcome to what happens at the games when we finish and you shove a camera on your face like, hey, well, how'd it go? And everyone, any concern that you won't make it to the games this year? No. It's hard. What's hard? Making it there. You got to go through the open, the quarterfinals, semifinals. Yeah. I mean, but that's part of it, right? I think it's always going to be challenging and hard, but I feel like over time you create belief in yourself of knowing what you're capable of and knowing what you have to do. And I think I've done that for so many years that I'm confident in fighting for that spot and going. Did you get the flu shot this year? No. Maybe that's why you have sinusitis. Maybe if you could pronounce it right, it might be all right. What is sinusitis? Sinusitis. Yeah, that's what I said. It's pretty much of your sinuses. And it's so what? Infection? Yeah. So from here and here, like I'll wake up and I can just feel the pressure like on my face and teeth. I love the Googling.
Yeah,
love
hey,
it.
dude, you better not go up in a plane. I've had that before and then gotten on a plane. It's fucked up.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
Hey, you're not taking antibiotics, are you?
No, I already did.
Oh, you dumbass.
It went from one side to the other.
Oh, fuck.
So I had it 2 weeks ago, and then got put on antibiotics for it, and then Tuesday of this week, it's now on this side.
What about a neti pot? I don't like antibiotics.
Yeah, I've used a neti pot
Are
multiple
you
times a
are
day.
you using it religiously? Are you using it religiously now? Yeah. It works, right? It helps.
It helps, but then sometimes I feel like I get almost like more congested after I use it.
Right. You use salt water?
The saline tablets or packets.
What about just getting, and you're gonna think I'm crazy for this, but what about just getting on the assault bike or something, or the C2 bike, and just spending enough time on it, like 40 minutes on it, and just trying to blow crazy snot rockets? I've done that too.
I do that, but I'll do that like in the sauna or a hot shower because I feel like the steam loosens it all up.
Yeah.
And then it's just
I've had that where my teeth hurt and it's been like a week of pain.
The worst.
And then I go on a crazy bike ride, hill ride, and I blow some snot rockets and it's gone forever.
Yeah. The teeth one for me is what drives me insane.
Yeah.
Like I wake up and I'm like, do I have like a cavity? Like what is going on? But it's like nothing to do with your like teeth. It's the pressure of the sinus, which is bizarre.
Yeah. Don't go on a plane, dude. You will weep like a baby.
I'm not going on a plane till October 24th.
No elevation.
Whoop. Not till Rogue, baby.
Hey, well, thanks for coming on. Good to see you. I need to have you on more often. That was too long.
I think that was already 45 minutes. See?
Yeah. You're a good dude.
Did you talk with Alexis?
I spoke to her yesterday.
How'd she do? How'd it go?
She was good. I was pissed because she did. Hey, is that the CPT dude? Oh, hey, what's up, girl?
Chris, come say hello.
Hey, Chris, what's going on with the rebranding over there with the videos? Chris, come in here.
Chris, he's got a question. What?
She has a question. He has a question for you. You're more important.
He doesn't want to be on camera. Chris, what's up, dude? Hey, the videos are looking good, dude. Whose idea was it? The whole new style with like the 1970s look, like where it's like the cutouts of the people talking in front of like images, and it feels like it's old skate style videos.
I just watched a lot of Jersey Shore.
Yeah. Fuck, dude, you're a boss. Hey, it was great meeting you at the games, dude. You're a cool dude. Everyone likes you too. You're one of those few people no one's talking shit about. Kind of crazy.
No, you can rest. Yeah.
You told Alexa she could rest?
No, somebody else.
Oh. No, don't rest.
Yeah.
Hey, is anusitis contagious?
Well, that's the wrong thing. So
sinusitis contagious?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Because I feel like it's just like and I don't know, maybe, I don't know.
Have you ever had it before?
Yeah. I had it like, I don't know, probably 3 years ago.
They're talking about doing surgery on you?
No.
Yeah, don't do
I know
any of that.
They do. They go out and clean everything out. I don't want that.
You ever had your ears cleaned professionally?
No, but I've seen videos. It looks crazy.
I had them cleaned professionally once. I had a little ringing in my ear. My wife took me to an ear, nose, and throat doctor. You think it's weird I get my wife and my sister confused like daily?
Yeah, kind
of. And they took out these chunks of wax out of my ear, Travis, and I had like supersonic hearing for like 2 days.
What'd they clean it with?
Just it was like a needle, like these metal tools.
Oh, and they like scrape it out.
Yeah, something. And they pulled out like rocks out of there that looked like hash. You probably never smoked hash, but it looked like hash. You know what hash is?
Like some that people have headphones on, and then it's like filled with water, and I don't know if it's like kind of like pressure washing the inside of the ear, and then like the stuff comes out, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah,
but I bet you it's better when you're done.
Dude, I couldn't believe how well I could hear. It was crazy. Candle wax in the ear. Yeah, that's what it was like.
I've never done that one.
All right. No more antibiotics.
Yeah.
No more heavy bag. No airplane rides.
Look, it's Rogue. You know they're going to bring out a heavy bag. We have every year. They like the heavy bag.
Hey, is Rogue kind of a test for you at all, or is it no? Like, I was broken and now I'm back in the game, or like you might have a little ring rust.
like it's my mini games, right? Like for me, this is like prepping for like a games style scenario of it's the next highest paid out event. Like go there and try to make and capitalize as much as possible, right? Like I sat out the open semifinals, quarterfinals, so the opportunities of making money financially in that time period are gone. So now it's like, okay, well, let's prepare for what's next. Okay, well, we know Rogue can be the next event, so let's go prepare for that. So this is kind of like the one I've been preparing for since I got back into training.
If you win Rogue, do you have to have another kid? Is your wife like, look, if you bring home $250,000,
we're all
have
on
another
the
kid.
same page. 5 kids is not happening.
All right.
That means you have to have another kid. How about that? I win, you have another kid. Tell your wife that you're having another
Travis
kid.
wins. If Travis wins, you're taking a dollop. All right. Thank you for coming on. You're a great dude.
Always.
Tell CPT I said hi. Tell Alexis I said hi.
You got it, man.
Tell her not to. Don't ever do 2 podcasts in one day. Like if I have one scheduled with you, and then Brian Spin reaches out to you and is like, "Hey, can we do one the day before Sevan has one scheduled with you?" Be like, "No."
Yeah, what?
Okay.
I only got room. Don't worry.
Okay.
All right.
Travis Mayer, talk to you soon, brother. Thank you. Be watching your Rogue.
All right, man.
Bye.
We'll see you then.
Oh. I wonder what's going on with Devyn Kim.
I don't know. Where's she at?
Did I tell you we have Dave Castro coming on tonight?
Yeah. He's
know
live with some chick right now.
He is?
Yeah.
Wait, show me that. Where's that?
It's on Instagram.
Oh, let's pull that up. Let's watch that. Interesting. Hey,
Oh, maybe not anymore.
we're supposed to have a CrossFit Games update show. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's cool. Look, there's Devyn Kim. I see her. I don't know where my arrow is, though. Can you bring her on?
Yeah.
I lost my arrow. Hey.
Hello.
What's up, girl?
Was I on the wrong one?
Oh, did I send you? Yeah, I keep sending people the wrong one. I don't know why that is.
It said like ended like 3 hours ago or like 3 hours. And I was like, well, I don't know what to do here. I'm not technologically savvy. So I'm just going to wait till I hear some from Sevan.
Yeah, that's 100% my fault. I wonder if I did that to Travis too. I forgot. Yesterday I did that to Alexis. I wonder what's going on.
Well, I don't know.
That would be twice in 2 days. That's a record for me. What's up? Where are you at? Are you at home?
Yeah. I literally woke up like 20 minutes ago.
Oh, perfect.
I'll only wake up early for you. Other than that, I'd
you're
still be
so
sleeping.
good. Are you in San Diego?
Mm-hmm.
That's home for you. You're not going anywhere.
Basically, yeah. I mean, like I grew up, an hour and a half up north, so my family's still super close. My hometown's still super close, but I live exclusively in San Diego right now for like the last 2 years.
And still training at Invictus.
Mm-hmm. I go to school down here too, so kind of home base for a while.
What school?
I go to Mesa College for kinesiology is my major. I want to be a PT, so hopefully one day down the road that'll happen.
Crazy that you're. Did you do that last year also?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, crazy.
I've been going to school for a while.
Hey, is that a good thing? Does that like keep you on schedule and keep you on point, or is it a burden?
A little bit of both. I mean, I do like when I have a crazy schedule load where I'm going from like point A, B, C within like, hours of each other. Like I feel like I thrive really well on a busy schedule because it kind of like keeps me to a good timeline. But I mean, it does obviously get stressful, especially with, games training and like during season, that's like more of a problem. But right now, like I'm still basically training the same amount, doing school the same amount, but it definitely keeps me on like a strict schedule. So I like being chaotic. My life's chaotic.
Yeah, I'm thinking like you are at the gym, but the next day you have a test and you're trying to be focused on your training, but knowing that you should maybe be at home studying or vice versa. You're studying when you
Yeah,
know you
I
should
think
be like, you're kinda, like, torn.
yeah, it's hard. I feel like whenever if I'm, like, studying or if I'm, like, training, like, I have to really compartmentalize everything. Like, if I'm training, I can't really be thinking about the exam that I have either later that day or me having to go home and go study because then it's just, like, it messes up my training, and if I'm not there fully focused on training, then, it backfires into everything else. So, I think when I'm doing what I'm doing at that moment, like, I just really have to compartmentalize it and, like, put my all into training for that time period, and then I can think about, "Okay, I have to go home because 'cause I'm still, like, I'm gonna be doing it no matter what, but as long as my mind isn't on the next thing, because I'm constantly running around, whether it's work, whether it's school, it's like as long as my head is fully in what I'm doing at that moment, it's relatively well, and sometimes it obviously doesn't happen, like, I'm stressed thinking about other things, but yeah, as long as I pour.
You
Oh,
have
go ahead.
work, you have school, you have boyfriend, and you have CrossFit.
Yes.
Are those the 4? Is there anything else big like that? Oh, and you have family, I guess.
Uh, yeah, family, but, my family obviously knows that I'm super busy and, like, we'll always work around in time.
You take
Um,
them for granted. Me
I
too.
don't take them
Oh,
for
come on, we take them
granted.
for granted. Come
Only
on.
on occasion.
Right.
But, yeah, nope, just those 4 main things.
Hey, why
I feel
do
like there
school
was
why do school and CrossFit? Like, why not just be like why do school and CrossFit? I understand work, you need money,
I
but
I ask
why do
myself
school?
that day. I ask myself that every day. No, but, like, in all honesty, I love CrossFit. I've been doing CrossFit for 12 years now. It's always been a part of me, and I honestly think having grown up with CrossFit, like, I was, in middle school, high school, and now in college, like, it's just always been a thing. Like, first off, obviously, I've never not been in school while I've been competing, but it's also too, like, I know that my CrossFit career is not gonna be forever. I know that I'm gonna hit a point where it's just, like, either my body's gonna break down or just I don't wanna do it anymore because 'cause I've been doing it for so long that I still want, like, a big career after this. Like, I still have goals and things that I wanna do as an adult. And obviously, if I don't achieve that now and go through the schooling now, I just you never know. So I just don't see myself not doing it because it's like, I don't know, I like doing hard things. I like pushing myself, seeing like, okay, well, can I go to the CrossFit Games this year and also still do school?
I'm gonna come back to that in 1 second. Someone said something here that caught me off guard, though. Her dad is Asian, her mom is white. I've seen your dad's not Asian.
Technically, he is, but no one knows. It's only in my eyes. You can only tell from my
Wait,
eyes and my last name.
that man I met that I think is your dad's not your dad?
Who?
I've seen your dad. Your dad's not Asian at
Yeah,
all.
you know my dad. I know he doesn't look Asian, like at all. Like at all. No one in
But
my
he
family
is?
does. Mhm,
But he is? What
mhm.
is he?
Yeah, his
What?
dad is like Korean.
No shit.
Yeah. I'm like I think he's a quarter. I think he's only like a quarter Korean, and yeah. No one knows, it's so funny because everyone, like, looks at your last name and, like, they don't put 2 and 2 together, and then they're like,
Dude, he
"Oh,
looks like
Kim,
he's out of a
that's
Western.
Korean."
He looks more John Wayne than Jackie Chan. Holy shit.
That's what I
That's
said.
crazy.
It's so funny. Every time someone finds out, they're just, like, flabbergasted, and I'm like,
So
"Yep."
I guess and that's the last name.
Mhm.
Okay.
I can't
Okay.
wait to get married.
Okay. No, it's great last name. Fucking awesome last name. Okay, so so going back to the school thing. So it's all you've ever
Yeah.
known. Hey, that kind of reminds me of when you're in high school and you're taking 7 classes and then you go to college and they're
Mhm,
like, "Okay, you're only going to take 3 classes this semester." You're like, "What? 3?
mhm. Yeah.
Too easy. Too easy." Okay. So it's all you know. You have your life scheduled. You're disciplined enough. It works in your life. It's not like you're
Yeah.
trying to force school in or you're trying to force CrossFit in. It's how you operate.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it's definitely hard, don't get me wrong, and especially when, like, I wanna prioritize, training, like, during the summer, I usually like, a couple times I've taken summer classes, but this past year I didn't, and, like, I'll tell you, it is so nice to just I was still working a little bit, but, like, just training during the week, it was amazing. So, I definitely don't take it for granted because I do realize how stressful and hard it can be, but when I'm in it, it's just like, just boom, 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 go, 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 you don't really have time to think.
How fast does your fitness wane when you stop training? How fast does it
I
go
wanna
away?
say I feel like immediately, like, my strength is still there. I think I, like, hit a PR, like, 3 weeks after the games not working out, so my strength is obviously there, but, like, my cardio goes pretty fast, I'd like to say, or at least I feel like it does. Like I'll go into the gym and I'll be working out and I'm just like, man, I feel so unfit right now. But you know, I'm still training, so it's still relatively there. But I feel like it goes fast.
What was the PR you set after the games?
240 power clean.
Wow, good on you. Were
Yeah,
you
that's
going
one
for it?
thing
Did you know you were going to do a PR when you went in that day? No.
We were just like, I think I was getting back, I actually think from NorCal Classic or right before NorCal Classic. I was just like in the gym messing around. I was like, man, I kind of want power clean. So we just like power cleaned, built up to a heavy. And normally power cleans aren't good for me. And so it just felt really good and ended up hitting a PR.
Wayne Kim, her dad is Korean. When I catch that guy.
It's my dad, y'all. It's my dad. I knew he'd be awake this early too.
Dude, I when I think of your dad, I just think of him as a workhorse. Like he's just he doesn't sleep.
I always say that I get like my athletic ability from my dad and like my like motivation and determination from my mom. My dad's just a little workhorse.
Yeah,
He'll just do anything and everything.
Yeah, I've never seen him when he's not crushing it. You won the games this year.
We did.
Surreal or yeah, like yeah, we're supposed to. This is as planned.
I feel like when it was obviously like planned. Our team, we talked about it. Like our goal was to come back and win the games. And I feel like it didn't feel real until it was like actually happening. Like not day 1, not day 2, like the end of day 3 going into day 4, I was like, okay, this is actually a thing. Like we could do this. And I think once we podiumed and all that, like it was surreal, but it was kind of just like kind of big relief. Like, all right, we did it, we made it through, and now kind of like what's next? Like I want to sit here and say it was like the best moment, and it was a really great moment, don't get me wrong. But I think like even my whole team can attest to just like once it happened, it was kind of just like, oh shit, we did it. Like, all right, what's next kind of thing. And I don't know if that's common with like a lot of other people who win or like Tia and all them. Like, I don't know if they feel the same way. But for me, I feel like it was kind of just like, all right, we did it. We met our goal. What's next? Yeah.
I think super common. I think people have an expectation about some sort of destination, and there are no destinations. And I think a lot of people have some pretty gnarly come downs from success because they think there's going to be something there, and there's not. Like like the change, whatever the changes that we expect, it's not there. I remember winning my film festival competition one time, and as soon as I got the award, I went home and just was like, that was dumb. Like that brought me zero happiness. I would rather be out making movies than winning awards. Yeah, it's a trip.
Exactly.
Right?
The journey is always better.
Yeah. And boy, you guys took a crazy journey. Is that the second year the team's been together?
Yeah, 2 years back to back.
Tell me at the the first year you guys were together, how did you guys place?
We got third our first year at the games. So that was 2021, Jorge and Britt were still on a team. Me and Josh weren't on that team. And then 2022 came around. We all 4 on a team. 2023 ran it back another year. So we've kind of all been like a team for kind of 2 to 3 years now, all training in the same gym. So what was the first year you ever competed at the CrossFit Games? Ooh, 2016.
And that was as a teen?
That was as a teenager, yeah.
And then did you compete? And then tell me as we go forward, 2017, did you compete?
Yeah. 2017. So 2016, 2017, 2018, and 2019, I competed at the games all 4 years for the teenage years. When I hit 17 or when I hit 18, because that was right after that. I think that was when, because the end of 2019 started 2020, and that's when COVID happened. So there like weren't any teams. So I wasn't on like a team. I was kind of a little burnt out from all 4 years of teenage years. So I was like, it was kind of blessing and a curse. I didn't really want to compete. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And then COVID happened. So it was kind of like, all right, we can figure out what we want to do from here. And then 2021 happened. And then like, it was a couple weeks before the open, my coach CJ texted me and was like, hey, do you want to be on a team? And then that was the year I first started team. And then 2022.
So one second. So when CJ texts you that, are you like, is it something you've been hoping to get that text? Like, are you like, God,
It was
like, how's it work
yeah,
at
it was like a little
Invictus?
bit of
Is
both.
everyone okay?
So there's like a few ways our gym kind of goes about it. Obviously, like with this team this year, we knew we wanted to run it back. So we already had that post games. Like we didn't have to really think about it or do anything. But usually at the beginning of the season, so I want to say towards the end of the year, maybe Wadapalooza time, the coaches will kind of do like a big combine, I would say. And if like you want to go individual, if you want to go team, you kind of like voice your opinion, what you want to do. And then either like the coaches will pick the team or, some athletes can like have some input on who they want to be on their team or stuff like that. So that was how that text happened. He was just like, "Hey, we have an extra team." Because I wasn't living in San Diego at this point. I was still living back home.
Which
And
is
I was
where
still
where'd you
training.
live? Is that Temecula?
Temecula, Marietta, same,
Okay,
same.
Marriott. Okay, okay.
Yeah. And so I got that text like a couple weeks before, and he was just like, "Hey, we have a spot on the team." I didn't think it was gonna go far. We ended up qualifying for the games, so that was really cool. But yeah, it was just like right before he was like, "Hey, do you want to come down on the do the open with us? You'll have a spot on the team, or maybe have a spot on the team." I was like, "Sure," and then took off from there.
And that was 2021.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
how did your team do? Did you make it to the games?
we qualified for the games.
And then
One of our team members got popped on a drug test at semifinals.
no shit. And what's that like when a team member pops? Like, are you guys
It was
are you nice to the team member? Do you hate them? Like, how do you manage that?
I mean, I've obviously was very nice. I mean, I was disappointed, but none of us saw it coming. I don't even know if he necessarily knew. I don't
What?
know, like go ahead.
No, no, you go ahead. So you're not sure if he knew but you're still nice to him, but you're disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, when we all found out, like, he obviously was just like, "I'm so sorry," and pouring out his apologies and, like, all this stuff. To me, I guess I don't know, I didn't have any really big goals for that season, so I feel like for me, it didn't really affect me as much as it probably should have just because, like, I went into the season not expecting anything. Like, I'd never been on a team before. I didn't know, like, anything about it. We ended up doing really good. We were, like, slotted to do really good at the games as well. We just had, like, a really good the other girl was really good. The 2 boys were powerhouses. Um, so we were slotted to do good, and then that happened, and I was kinda just like, "Oh, well, it's okay." Because right after that time, I, like, had just moved down to San Diego, so I was kinda just like, "Well, it's okay, like, I'll still be training in the gym with everybody. I'm out here living on my own now." So I don't think I really was that big of a letdown for me.
Does the gym kick him out?
Yeah, I mean, the gym didn't kick him out. He and his wife ended up they were already planning on moving,
Yeah.
so it was like they didn't really kick him out. He just kinda left on his own, was planning
It,
on leaving.
it's
I
such a
don't know if
trip
the
because
gym
from
would
the
kick him
outside,
out.
I'm like, who cares if he was on drugs? Like, I don't
Yeah,
give a fuck. But then
yeah.
from the inside, like, let's say you were a 31-year-old athlete, and the next year you wanted to have kids, and this was your last like push for it, and
So
you had all these goals, and then this guy who you're relying on, it's not that he fails, it's he went out of his way to fail. It's weird.
yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
pardon.
definitely like go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, like, it's definitely for me, I didn't have much on the line. This wasn't my last year competing. This was my first year competing. So it was kind of just
Yeah.
like somewhere in the middle. I didn't know what was happening. And like playing devil's advocate, he was a Navy SEAL. So I'm like, I don't know what those Navy SEAL people do, but they're badasses. So you can't really, you never know what's going
Did
on with
did any
them.
of the did anyone when you're on a team with someone who pops, does everyone just assume that
Mhm.
you're on too?
No. Well, I mean, technically, I didn't get drug tested, but like, I've I don't think so. I'm
Does your
21. I
dad pull
really
you by
hope
your
no one
ear and
thinks
say, "Devyn, you better not be on anything"? Does he
that's just like never even been a thing. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like performance enhancing drugs have just like never, like, I don't know. I
You
feel
haven't
like if
spent
anything, it
hours
would
on
make you
Google's
worse. I don't
researching.
know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't spent hours on Google researching them.
No,
No, smart.
not at
Good.
all. I
Okay,
wish. It probably helped me run faster.
so 2021, the team, has a testing issue, and then 2022, you take, 3rd, and then
Third.
2023, you win.
Mhm. Pretty good
And
3
and
years if we're
and then as a teen, how d who What names were in the teens during those years with you? Was that the Mal O'Brien years, or was she in there with you?
So it was mostly like Haley. Mal was in the beginning, it was like Haley, Alexis, I'm so blank. There's like a bunch of other girls that are like still in CrossFit now, but like for the main names, you'll have like Brittany or not Brittany,
Haley and
Allie was
Alexis.
competing as well. Haley and
Al
Alexis.
Allie who?
Allie Weiss.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, yeah. So they were all competing with me. Mal O'Brien was like she was like a year younger than me, 2 years. Like when I was in the older division, she was in the younger. So like we met each
Okay.
other, but we never competed against each other.
Okay.
Emma Lawson as well. She was around there, I
Wow.
think.
And what, how did you do those years? 16, 17, 18, 19?
Pretty good. When my very first year, I was like the youngest one there. And they only had 10 girls at the time. I think I got like 6th.
Okay.
So that was good. The next year I got 2nd. The year after that, 2018 and 2019, I got 4th.
Oh, so you even as a young, older girl, you still did well. You got 4th.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
Should
crazy. Good job.
almost podiumed.
Wow, good job. And
Thank you.
so when you get on, so when you in 2022, when you form this team, how does that team form? And that is the team, right? That's Chama, Weiss, Jorge, and you.
Yeah. So we kind of had, I don't honestly, out of nowhere, Josh kind of showed up at the gym. Like he's been following Invictus for so long. And then Tino called him and was like, hey, we want you on a team. Come on, move down here. So like Josh shows up and he's like, hey, this is going to be one of the guys for the team. And then you had like the 2 guys, Jorge and Josh, that never wavered. And then it was like me, Brittany, and Jen all kind of like fighting for a spot on the team because Jen was on the team in 2021. So like it was like us 3
Who's
girls.
Jen? Is that Asian girl? Who's Jen?
No, Jen Ryan, Masters athlete.
Okay. Maybe Caleb will pull her up and I'll see her. Okay, go on.
Yeah.
Okay. So
But
there's
anyways,
3 girls
she's
vying
in,
for 2 spots.
yeah,
Okay.
that's Jen Ryan.
Okay.
She's a badass.
Yes, I
But yeah,
recognize her. Okay.
yeah. So us 3 were fighting for a spot, kind of like they just took it off of like your open scores. Then we did quarterfinal, or not quarterfinal scores because you had to have the team established by then. The open scores, they kind of took it off their open scores, and the coaches obviously see us train every single day, so they kind of knew who was going to be a best fit for the team. And then right after the open, they kind of like was like, hey, this is like officially the team. And then went on from there.
So then you make the team. Is she upset when you make the team, Jen?
Jen? No, not at all.
No.
Not at all.
At
I
least
mean,
she hit
I
it.
don't
She
think
hit
so.
it well. Yeah, she
I
hit
was
it.
like, yeah, I know. I mean, obviously you're disappointed at first if that's
Yeah.
what you want, but you know, it was good for her. She went out and did masters and crushed it in the masters division. Again, this year is crushing it. So, you know, I think it was just a change for her. Just different. She's been doing team for so long.
And so you guys do the team, and how is that first year, 2022, as a team together?
It was good. It was great. We had a lot of fun. It was like,
You seem
I
like
feel
you're
like
a lot
my
of fun.
first
Like if I would rank you, if I'd pick like the funnest CrossFit Games athletes, you'd be like at the top of my list.
Thank you. I have a blast. I feel like I'm very like energetic. I'm not always in a good mood. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like I'm always like, you know, having a good time, and that's just kind of who I am. So I bring the fun, everyone likes to say. I bring the
Hey,
crazy and I bring the wild.
you have a boyfriend who wears overalls and a cowboy hat.
I do. I made him wear overalls. The cowboy hat's him. He's full grown from the South, but I made him wear some overalls.
Yeah, does that bother your other teammates that you're having so much fun? Like they're almost like, hey, you're not serious enough. You're having too much fun.
You know, honestly, I feel like at times, like I know that I go in and like I get the work done, and you know, but I like to think no. Like I feel like sometimes it comes out and it's just like, well, Devyn, like you're out doing all these things and all this stuff. But you know, I always make sure I tell them, like Stagecoach, for example, like they knew weeks and weeks in advance that I was going to that. I rearranged my training around it. So yeah, maybe I had to miss like one session. But for me, I feel like I am very much a person who lives off of like the work balance kind of life. And if I don't have that outlet, I just like I won't enjoy it. And for me, it's like I need to, go out and have a little fun. And it doesn't necessarily need to be like um detrimental to my training. It's not like I'm going out and drinking and doing all this stuff and staying out super late, like not on purpose, obviously, if I'm working. But I still need to like at least have that some sort of outlet to, keep me going through the whole season because it's a long season.
Yeah, I don't think your cohort understands balance. I mean, and I'm that's not
Yeah.
a dig at them. I don't think balance is a strong suit or a very
Yeah.
valuable prioritized thing for CrossFit Games athletes,
Yeah,
right?
it's just different, like you wanna pour like you're all into it, and I'm the same way. Like I wanna pour every single ounce of it into training. But, with everything else going on, sometimes it's just not realistic, but just everyone's in a different time in their life. Like I understand that I'm still young and I'm 21 and I'm in school and I don't really wanna not be in school. So it's hard to pour everything into it, but I definitely believe in the balance, and other times it's hard for other people to do that, which like, no shame to them. Everyone is their own person, but, for me, it definitely is what I need.
Please do not take this as a compliment. This is just strictly an observation. Marissa Hanosa, amazing legs. Yeah, your legs look crazy in that picture, and that is not a
Thank you.
compliment. We're not talking about you. Just an
Never,
observation.
never.
Yeah, please
Yeah, just an observation.
do not take. I
Don't
don't want
boost the
you.
ego.
I don't want you in 20 years to look at that picture and be like, "Oh my god, I used to have such nice legs." Everyone gets old. It's cool. Enjoy. You think you're
Ugh,
gonna have fun
I
getting
feel like
old?
no.
No.
Honestly, I
Oh,
kinda want
why
to.
not?
I wanna get old. Well, okay, I wanna get old as if I'm, like I don't wanna get past, like, 60. Like, I wanna,
No.
like, hit, like, 50, 55, 60, and then, like, that's it.
I'm
Because then,
having
like,
so much
everything
fun getting old. I'm having so much fun.
really?
Yeah, it's
I
so
feel like I'm,
good.
like,
What do you
maybe,
think's gonna
maybe
happen?
one day.
Tell me some of the things. What are some of your
I just
concerns?
wanna make I just wanna make a lot like, I wanna be rich when I'm older.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wanna be
yeah,
able to
yeah,
not have
yeah,
to work.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's healthy.
You
Um,
know?
uh, you know how you can do you save your money?
Yeah, I'm actually pretty like, I'm very good at obviously, I spend my money, but I'm very good at saving it. I've always
Yeah.
been.
You'll be so happy if you're old and you have money.
Yeah, that's the
Well,
goal.
maybe that's why I'm enjoying it because I have a little bit of money. Like I'm not like I don't have to. I'm not scared. Like I'm gonna be like
Yeah. No,
you know what I mean.
exactly.
I
I
get
just
to
wanna
do a
be steady.
podcast. I'm not working at. I mean, there's old people working at the gas station. That would suck to
Yeah,
be 65 and be putting in 50
yeah,
hours a week at 7-Eleven. That would suck.
yeah. And, like, no offense, like, obviously, I work at a restaurant,
Yeah.
so,
Talk to me
you
about
see
old people.
all the
Yeah. Let it out. Let it out. Let it out. No offense taken. Let it out. Let it out.
Oh, no, so it's just, like, crazy, like, it's so wild, like, I've obviously been involved in CrossFit, like, my CrossFit is my whole life, and I've grown up around adults who've only done CrossFit and all this stuff, so now having worked at, like, a service industry I've worked other places, but really the service industry is where it gets me, like, these crazy people, they're insane, just, like, they're, like, 50s and 30s and just, like, drug addicts, like, disowning their kids, like, it's crazy, I'm like, "This is" and it's like, I feel I don't wanna say I feel bad, but, like, it's just, like it's just crazy. It's just there's a whole world out there, and I feel like it's really cool for me to, like, kinda get that side of it through Texas Roadhouse, so
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
You
crazy
don't
to
want
put
to.
it into
You don't want to be.
perspective.
You don't want to be 47 years old and it's a challenge to get in and out of the
Exactly.
booth. Yeah. I'm.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
like, I didn't wanna
Yeah.
say that,
No,
but
it's fine.
yeah,
I'll say it. Yeah.
exactly. And
Yeah,
just, like,
dude.
working at a service industry just, like, working in the service industry when I'm still 50, like, I just don't wanna do that.
Yeah. Or if you are doing it, you want to be doing it on your own terms.
Exactly, yeah. Not because I need to, and I'm
R-
yeah.
Right. Right. You'll be there. But saving's so underrated. Souza explained to me one time how alcohol affects the brain. He said that if you're the kind of hypothetically, if you're the kind of person who usually like thinks of consequences, when you drink,
Mhm.
you don't think about consequences more than 5 minutes away, right? So
Yeah,
that's why, like, in the most simple sense, that's why people have unprotected sex when they're drunk, right? Because
yeah.
like fuck it, like you're not even thinking more than
You're
five
not
minutes
thinking
ahead,
about
right? Yeah,
yeah, you're not thinking 20 years down the road when you have a little baby.
yeah. But
Yeah,
when you're young, also you probably don't think hey, you can't imagine being 60. But if
yeah,
you're 60 and you don't have to work versus 60 and you do have to work, your life's totally fucking different. And fuck,
yeah. So
It's
different.
great. Yeah, so different. So different. And if you do CrossFit, you'll be able-bodied.
I'm
You-
gonna be disabled by the time I'm 60. I'm not gonna be able to walk.
do you ever think about pivoting to other sports? Like by other sports, I mean like these other sports like like marathon, biking, swimming.
Mhm.
I don't mean like professional volleyball.
Yeah. I dabbled a little bit in weightlifting when I was, like, in my younger years, but I was actually just talking to my roommate the other day. I was like, "I wanna go try an Ironman," like, for no reason, I
Mm,
just wanna do
mm.
one. That would definitely have to be something that I would train for. I'm not, like, a endurance athlete by any means, so that I definitely would have to train for that, so it wouldn't be while I'm still competing in CrossFit, but I would love to try one day or,
Could
like,
you
run a
do that?
marathon.
Could you do that, Devin? Could you incorporate? Could you like okay? Let's say you train this whole year and you make it to the games
Mhm.
in some either individual or team, and then right after the games, could you take 3 months off and train for a triathlon, and then pivot
Easily.
as soon as you're done? Pivot back to games training.
Yeah. Especially I feel like that would actually like, I could easily do that, especially for me, like, endurance is not my thing, so training that in the off season, like, for a marathon, I feel like that would be really good, and then especially if I wanna, like, go back to CrossFit, that would translate over, like, I would have no problem going straight from the games to training for something like that. It's a good idea. Maybe next season.
It's kind of interesting too because then you really don't get an off season.
Yeah.
But
We don't really get an off season to begin with.
no,
Not really.
no. Are you did you try to qualify for Rogue?
Yeah, I did it. Like, I signed up and did the qualifiers. I wasn't really training for it, so I had no expectations. I was like, everyone at the gym was doing it, so I was like, "You know what? I'll just hop in and do it." I didn't do it last year due to an ankle injury. Like, I started and then hurt my ankle, so I was just like, "Nah, I don't really care." This year, I wanted to try. Had no expectations, but I did them. So,
But you would have liked to have gone.
yeah, that was the goal, obviously. I think that I should have, like, started training post games for it and, like, if this was really something I wanted to do because for me, it's like, if I'm gonna do something, I wanna, like, make sure that I'm training to be able to do the best that I can do, and I just don't think that translated over for Rogue because I took my off season after the season. It was a long season, as you know. So I needed time to, like, decompress and just not do anything. And so it was really nice, and then coming back to the gym, like, the week later, they were like, "Oh, hey, we have Rogue." And I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm doing them." So, it was fine. I obviously would have loved to make it, but maybe next year.
I have this theory, just a really loose theory, that
Mm,
you want to do individual
mhm.
and you want to commit to do individual, but it's fucking scary as shit.
It is scary as
Like
shit.
like 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 you're driving in the middle lane doing 60 and you're seeing these cars go by you at
Mhm.
100 and you're like, "I'm about to put my left signal on and get in that lane."
Yeah. I definitely, like, have been itching to go individual. It's really, like, as I again, like I said earlier, I'm like, if I do something, I wanna pour my whole heart into it, and, like,
Mm.
I can do that with team, with the schedule that I have, and, like, no shame to team, but it is very different. You ask any individual athlete compared to a team, like, it's a different world out there, and I don't think my timeline and my life right now can really add up to that, and if it does, great. If it doesn't, I'm still trying to, like, work out those details and see if that's something that I can do with pouring all of it into it. Because no offense, I don't wanna half-ass it. Like, I don't wanna train individual, go to semifinals, and half-ass it. Um, so if I can really commit and, like, show myself that I can do this and put all my eggs kind of in that basket, then that'd be great, but we're still figuring out the details.
How about is Dubai a possibility?
Yeah, I am doing Dubai as an individual, so that'll be a great kinda, like, tester to see where I am, and I don't have to make any decisions before that, so I can kinda use Dubai as a baseline for,
When is
how I
that?
wanna do and how I 1st or 2nd week of December, December 8th or something like that.
When
I
you
hope
look
my
at
professor doesn't see this because I told him that it was, like, 3 weeks long in December because 'cause I'm not gonna be there for the final.
oh,
I'm missing my final.
when you will you take it ahead of time or online, or how will you do it?
I think I'm gonna have to take it before I leave for Dubai.
When When you think of Dubai, is it far away, or is it it's like right around the
Far.
corner? Oh, it is far. Good on you. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's when you told me you're doing Dubai, I got
I know
stressed out for
geography.
you. No. I don't mean the distance. I mean the timeline.
Oh, the time. Oh, yes. I was like, Dubai's very far. Yeah, no, we still got a couple months, and I've been training back in it. Like this is kind of the first, second week, really, really back into it, like training hard. So we still got a couple months to kick it into gear.
And when you say
Or
we,
I
you're
have
talking
a
about
couple months. It's really,
okay.
yeah, it's really weird. I was just saying we because I was just saying that how it's like always team, but now it's like, oh, it's just me. I will be ready in a few months.
So you don't feel like it's right around the corner. You're not in panic, like, oh shit, I don't have enough time to do everything.
I am, but I know that I do have time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 2022, you do the team's good. Is the team in good? Is the camaraderie good in the team? The first year, like epic,
Yeah.
like just fantastic.
Yeah, like we all love each other. I think we all push for each other no matter what. We're kind of like I would say brothers and sisters. Like I feel like they're like I have a brother, but I feel like Brittany was like, the sibling that I never had, and the boys were kind of just like my brothers. I would say
That shirt you're
kinda like
wearing
one
there
big
is
family.
that shirt you're wearing there is crazy. Hey, how many times does it take you to put that shirt on to get it right? Like if my wife had that, she would come in the room and be like, "Hey, can you help me put this on?"
It's bad. There's like straps flying
Yeah,
everywhere. It's difficult, but once it's on, it's cute.
I want to see the back of that. Could the
It's
back
nuts.
be?
It's literally basically the same
Yeah,
on the
like
back.
you put the first
Yeah.
time you put it on backwards.
Yeah, exactly. Luckily, there's like the logo on the back, but other than that, it's same.
Could you flip that strap? See, on one side there's two straps. Could you flip that strap to the other side so that your head's going through the other opening?
Not unless I
No.
want to give the people a show.
Knowledge. Okay. There was on this team. There were just rumors flying everywhere. The one
Yep.
that is not a rumor anymore that's been spoken about by Mr. Chama on the on Pedro's podcast, and I asked Jorge about it when he was on this podcast, was the fact that you were getting roughed up a little bit, that there was like people coming to Devyn Kim, and in the way I heard the story is that Jorge asked you, told you you're not right for the team. That's the way I heard it, like third person. Then when I heard the story on Coffee Pods and Wads and I asked Jorge about it, they said that Chama was the one that asked you not to be on the team. And also, when I asked Jorge about it afterwards, I don't know if you saw that podcast, but he basically, I'm paraphrasing, but he regretted that it even turned out he took his responsibility for even Chama saying it to you. And he said, hey, it shouldn't have been said. We fucked up. Everyone was underneath a lot of pressure. It was not handled appropriately. And she's her own creature and she's perfect as who she is. And we shouldn't have done it. We fucked up. And then I also asked him, has there been closure with the team since you guys won? Are you guys healed? And he said, no, but I wish there was. I do want closure and I do want to heal. And he said, and I think he basically also said, I don't know if we ever will be healed, but I'd like to at least make the attempt.
Yeah.
Could you walk me through some of that? You're on this team that took third place at the 2022 games. You guys look, all these pictures of you guys. I mean, it's these four stunning human beings. Every picture, you guys look like you're having a blast. I saw you guys at the games. I hung out with you guys a bunch. I saw no chinks in your armor. Racist. And I'm perplexed. How does that happen? How does and is it crazy?
Yeah.
Like
So
someone asking you to get off the
coming
team?
coming off of 2022, like we were all feeling great. We all had the same goal. We wanted to run it back another year. Season starts, we kind of all had this sense of comfort, I would say, with knowing that like we didn't have to fight for a spot, which is kind of how the year before. It's like, okay, you don't know the team, you don't know anything like that. So there's definitely a little bit of comfort there going into the season. I don't think it was necessarily a bad thing. Towards the end, like as Jorge said, I think everyone put a lot of pressure on everybody. I think my goals and like the way I achieve my goals look very different than how other people achieve it. Like we said earlier, they aren't in school. They're adults, they have families, they like have other things going on in their life. And I, on the other hand, do as well, but it's just in a different sense. Like if I have to school, like sometimes I have to, switch around training. So I'm not training with the team. And in the beginning of the season, I was still working through a shoulder injury, so I was, like, primarily doing, like, baseline cardio, which is good for me, but it's, like, it's still hard when you're not training with your team every single day. They don't see what you're doing, and, like, I very much understand their concern and where it's coming from because it's, like, I am the girl who wants to go out and hang out with friends and do all like, I have all these other responsibilities, but that doesn't mean that I'm not training. So I think everyone kinda just wasn't really on the same page. Um, like, we all had the same goal and we all knew what we wanted to do, but I think it was, like, that
What
started
it
to
let me
waver.
stop you there. What does that look like? Is that you not showing is that you showing up to training late, or is that them seeing you on social media with friends? Like, what gives them the
Like,
idea that you're not prioritizing?
I would like I think it was, like, the training, like, during the towards the end of the season, I was kinda going through some things personally, and I was just, like, not myself, and I just wasn't myself in the gym, and I was, I take my responsibility in what I did, and I just wasn't who I am, and I didn't really see that in the moment, so I think that they were kind of like, "Well, what's going on with her? Why is she rebelling?" Stuff like that, and by
So they
rebelling,
sense
I guess
something
it
from
was
you. They sense something from you.
yeah, everybody did,
Okay.
like, even our
Okay.
coaches did, like, I wasn't who I normally am, and, like, I didn't really realize that, and so I think
Oh,
that
by the
just,
way, I
like,
do
put a
wanna
lot of
say this too.
pressure.
Jorge also did say he's like, "Dude, she like, at the game, she was the rock star. She was the
Yeah,
one. She fully stepped up and was hitting fucking grand slams." Okay, sorry, go on.
yeah. No, you're good. Yeah, so I think that everyone kinda just put a lot of pressure on each other, and then towards the end, CJ asked me, he basically like left it in my hands and said, there is an option if you don't feel like you can compete on this team. Like if you don't want to do this anymore, there is an option. Like no one was really well in the
What's the
like
date on
background,
that?
no
What
one
month
was
is that? Is that before the Open?
like no, like 2 weeks, a week and a half before the games.
So, is there a buildup to that conversation? Is it like, "Hey, I know you just totaled your car and your dog got run over and your boyfriend, is going away to the army, there's a way out?" Or is it like, do you guys even talk about what possibly the issues are, or is it just dropped on you like, "Hey, something's up.
Yeah.
Do you
I
want out?"
feel like I feel like for me, like I and not in a bad way, but, like, I never heard any of those side conversations, like,
Right,
I guess,
okay.
like, the planning or the wanting. Like,
Yeah.
me and my team are great, like, we are fine, but, I didn't hear any of those conversations, so I didn't really know that was a thing that they were even, like, contemplating or
Okay, there
talking about or
wasn't a
wanting.
buildup. The month before, they weren't like, "Hey,
There wasn't the
girl,
buildup, no.
we know you're going through some shit and you missed your car
It was
payment the last
kind
6
of
months." Or, "We
yeah,
found a
it was
crack pipe
kind of
in your
all within,
purse.
like,
Are
a
you
week
okay?"
span.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Holy shit. It ramped up
Well, yeah,
fast.
they did reach out to me and, like, we were having conversations, they were reaching out for me and they were, like, worried, but I feel like the whole Danny thing, if that's what you're asking about, it was kind of
Yeah.
like the week before the games, and they were like, "This is an option. Danny is on the roster." Now, Danny was telling me, she was like, "I would never do this unless you don't wanna be on this team and you don't wanna compete. Like, I will step in for you if that's what you need, but the option was kinda or the, like, option was always in my hand if I wanted to step away or
So
not."
this is interesting. The way I heard the story through the grapevine is Jorge said it to you. The way I heard it from Coffee Pods and Waz is that El Chama said it to you, and the way you're telling it is that CJ told you. It doesn't matter,
Well,
but it
yeah.
doesn't matter to the what I give a fuck about the story, but it is interesting and to note that it's that just shows you how stories have different
Stories are gonna
details.
go.
Yeah,
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 and,
yeah.
like, the boys did have conversations with me about it, but, like,
Mhm.
it was obviously up to me and CJ, and, like, we had that conversation. It was, like, obviously, like, emotions are flowing through the team. It's hard to really, like, wanna I don't wanna say wanna trust what they say, but, like, it was me and CJ's decision. Like, we were in the office, we were talking about it. Yes, I was hearing stuff from the team, but I was kinda just, like, shutting that out. I need to focus on, like, what's best for me and what I wanna do and what I'm gonna do, like, moving forward, so
How about the
but they
Weiss
did have a
girl? How
conversation with me.
how about the Weiss girl? Was she what was she saying to you? Was she like, "Don't leave, don't leave. I need you. Don't leave."
She like, wasn't really saying anything.
Okay. So you
Yeah.
okay. Wow.
Switzerland.
Okay, 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 yeah, so I like that, Switzerland. You're a good dude for giving us the
Yeah.
details. So, did you ever was there ever any, yelling matches between you and Chama or you and Jorge or you and CJ? Like, "Hey, fuck you."
No,
No.
no.
So
I don't think I would do that.
so it's pressure
I'm
it's
too nice.
pressure cooker.
Yeah. I mean, like, in the moment, I feel like if anything ever gets said, it's, like, in a workout, in the middle of, like, heated moments, everyone's, like, emotions are high, and then you get in to do a really hard workout, and just, like, everyone's just emotional and, nerves are high, so I think that if it ever did happen, it would just be, like, in the workout, after that, you kind of get over it.
Isn't it interesting? I wonder how this interview would have gone like a few days after the games. It's so interesting that you're taking responsibility and that Jorge also took
Yeah,
responsibility and that Chama took responsibility. Like
yeah,
Jorge was like, we fucked up. It was handled completely fucking wrong. And what you're saying is like, yeah, I had some shit going on. I wasn't like,
yeah.
I had some shit. It's interesting.
Yeah, I
Uh,
feel like after the fact and, like, towards the end of the season, like, everyone has their part to play in the team. Like, there was no doubt about it. There's no one person to blame. There's nobody who's not at fault. Like, everybody had their part, and that's how any great teams are gonna be. There's always gonna be problems, whether it's you know about it or whether you don't. Like, people just you're trying to have 4 personalities and trying to mesh them all into one and all think the same way. Like, that's just hard. And you have a lot of, especially on our team, you have, like, a lot of, I don't wanna say, like, alpha, but, like, a lot of stubborn, like, me myself included, I'm very stubborn and, like, hard-headed, and so you just have a lot of those personalities, and it's just hard to mesh sometimes, as any team would be.
yeah.
And, like,
Uh, it's interesting. I don't see your stubbornness, but I could imagine you're very stubborn
yeah,
because life is working
only to
for
some
you.
people.
Well, life's
Yeah,
working for you. I'm like that too. Life's working for me. I'm gonna be stubborn as fuck.
yeah, so
I'm
I can be
very happy.
sometimes.
That's what's gonna be interesting about you going individual because
Mhm,
you're gonna have to get out of your own way because it's really working for
mhm.
you driving in the lane you're in. You're fucking killing life. You're
Yeah,
young and you're fucking
I
owning shit,
definitely
and you're gonna
love on a team.
yeah. You love your life, huh? Life's good.
Life's good. I love my life. Like, I love the chaos. I don't think I would want it any other way. Like, I'm living my dream competing as a CrossFit athlete as well. I'm still in school as much as stressful as it is. Like, I'm still in school so that I still feel like I'm can be a kid, like I still have that aspect. I go to school and, like, other than the few people in my class that know me, other than that, no one knows about CrossFit. So it's great. They just think
Yeah.
of me as like the buff girl. So that's really cool. And then my work obviously knows more about CrossFit, but it's just like nice to have that outlet of just like being, a normal 21-year-old. And as much as like, but it's like good just for that time. Like, I never want to deal with that outside of the 6, 7 hours I work at Roadhouse, but it's like just enough for me to like come back into training and like have that level head.
And you're in love. You got a boyfriend. That's fun too.
Yes. My
A-
little
And you have
boy, my little southern boy.
and you have good family.
Yeah. My family's great, have supported me through everything. Never
Did
not
your
been there.
boyfriend go to the army? Is your boyfriend in the military?
He's in the Navy.
In the
Yeah,
Navy.
he's in
That's
the
good.
Navy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. So you don't have to deal with him like all the time. He's doing his shit. He's like busy.
No, he's gone. No, it actually works out really well. Like, as much as we've been doing long distance for I think almost 2 years now, and as much as it sucks, like, I'm very busy and he's very busy as well. So it's
Yeah.
kinda nice. It's like we have been able to work on ourselves outside of our, like, being together every single day. So I
Yeah.
feel like it's been really good. And obviously just with how busy I am, and he supports me no matter what, so
Hey, that's really cool. You guys are gonna get to you guys are gonna get to see each other go through like turn into men and women. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like it's I met my wife when I was probably 23 and she was 20, and we got to watch each other like develop into humans. That must be so cool. Is it
Yeah.
cool when he comes back every time? Do you notice him a little different? You're like,
Yeah.
oh, he's
Yeah.
growing. He's
So
got more
luckily
fruit on this
now
tree.
he really does. There were, times where I would go, like, months without seeing him, and then he'd come back and be like, "Oh, wow." But I do now see him, like, probably once a month, which is, like, a blessing. To be even in the same state as him again has been really nice. So, yeah, he comes down, like, once a month,
How
if not
fucking
more. We
awesome.
try for more. Yeah.
So you guys are at so how does that heal when CJ says that to you? Do you have to have closure to that? Like d- when you're in the office with him and he says that, is it like, okay, I'll think about it? Or it's like, no, I'm going. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a lot of different motions at once. So, like, you obviously could sit there and be like, "All right, let's take the easy way out. Like, I don't wanna do this. I put in the work all season, but, like, I just am gonna walk away."
Was
Like,
that
that's
an
option
option?
1.
So that wasn't wow. So you could have fallen through that door. You saw that door. Okay, I can get out now.
Yeah.
Ooh,
It's hard. It's like, there's definitely
holy
the thing where it's
shit.
like, there's an out. And if you want to take the easy way out, like it's in my hand, I can just and leave.
Fine, fuck these guys.
Um,
I don't want to do it anyway. I'm going to get drunk tonight.
I'm going to get drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that option, or there's the option to like, I've come this far, I've worked this hard. I'm not going to I'm not going to give up. Like
Yeah.
I put in the work. I want to see this through. I have a goal that I want to achieve. And ultimately, as we can all tell, that demon kind of fought harder. So it was definitely like a lot of emotions. Walking away from that conversation, I was thinking a million different things, like whether just and every single emotion you could imagine was going through my head. So I obviously took some time.
Like everything from
I didn't
I'm
end up
worthless to fuck those guys, they betrayed me. The whole gambit.
basically
Yeah.
the whole thing,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And so I took the afternoon off from training. CJ was like, take the afternoon, take the weekend, like figure out what you want to do. Like this isn't a decision I want you to make lightly. Like talk to your family, talk through it with friends, like figure out what you want to do, because like
Take
he
a
was
weekend
worried
off of
that
training the week before the games. I don't like that.
well, it was just the day. It wasn't the weekend, but
Okay.
like take the
Okay.
weekend to think about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I just took the day off of it. And so then I forgot where I was at.
Do you think he was trying to talk you into getting off the team? Or do you
Oh,
think
so yes.
he was
So
really open to the idea of you choosing? Or do you think he was
I
like
think
trying to
CJ,
show you the door?
yeah, CJ has been like, I would say kind of like a father figure in my life since like 2014, 2015. Um, so I have definitely when he pulled me aside, I feel like it was more like a concern for like me and my mental health and just like how this would affect me in the coming years. Cause he's like, I don't want this to be your last year. Like this isn't the last year you're competing and then you're done after that. He's like, I don't want you to do this and hypothetically have it ruin the rest of your season or the rest of like your future in this career. So I think it was more just like out of concern for like my own being versus like anything to do with the team. I mean, he, quite frankly, CJ at that point, he doesn't care if the team wins. He doesn't care if the team gets last. Like he's very much cares about his athletes and how they're feeling and how they're doing mentally and how this is going to affect them in the long run. So I think that's where his concern was coming from.
Um, so do you, when you come back, do you go into his office and you're like, hey, I'm staying? Like, what's that
Yeah, it was
conversation?
kind of,
Or do you
I
text
think
him?
I actually texted him. I think I called him over the weekend and I was like working on weekend and I was just like talking to my family and I think I had dinner with them and kind of just like talked it through and I was like, sent him a text and I was like, don't count me out yet. And then we had like a serious talk and kind of was just like, all right, if you're in, you're in. And I was in the same way. I was like, we have 2 weeks or however long it was till games. Like you push through, you put your head down, you work, like we get this job done. And it worked out.
Hey, does the team talk about it openly, or is there always kind of like this weird, is it the elephant in the room?
I mean, like, I'm gonna be like, we talked about it a little bit, like while it was all going down. But I
All
think,
four of you,
and
like in
like
the
this,
same room? Like, were you like, dude, you guys, that was fucked up. You guys should have come to me weeks ago. And they're like, sorry, but you were fucking up.
I
And
think
you're
it was
like,
like
yeah, I
all on
know
a
it's
text
fucked.
thread.
Okay.
Yeah. Hard to honestly, it's really hard for all of us to try to like meet up during like other than training just because our schedules are crazy.
Right.
And so yeah.
So is it by the time you guys get to the games, and is it still the elephant in the room? Or is it, you
Oh
think
yeah.
everyone
So
by
I
then
feel
has
like
it squashed?
yeah, I feel like right after it happened, and like I'm very much a person, it's whatever whatever happened, like it is what it is. There's no point dwelling about it because it's just gonna make things more awkward. Like let's just figure out a way to like get through this and just be like the team that we know we can be because regardless of the drama or the whatever happened, like we mesh very, very well as a team. Obviously, you saw it at games. You were like, there's no way you guys are going through things, or there's no way that like all this stuff. And mind you, we are a great team. Like we love each other. We know like when we get out on the competition floor and even in training, like we will push for each other. I will push for them. That's why I feel like I'm a really good team athlete. Like I will push for my team. Um, and so I feel like once that all went down, we kind of were just like, all right, move on. Like it is what it is. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Like I don't really care what y'all think, like or anything like that. Like let's just get the job done. and we kind of just put our head downs and work. And we like meshed really well. Like things were, I think, great after that. I think everyone like realized it was coming towards the end of the season. Like we don't want to end this way. Like we want to have fun. Why spend all this time, all this money, all this stress to just have it be not enjoyable? And like we wouldn't do well if we weren't enjoying it. I especially wouldn't do well if I wasn't enjoying it.
Yeah, you guys did look like you were enjoying it. You did look like you were all on the same page. And when we saw you on stage and you got your trophies and the champagne spraying all around, is that the last time the team's ever been together?
No, after that we had like we all came back to San Diego. Josh went back up to LA. His wife was having a baby. And so we all saw each other again at the Padres game. We threw the first pitch for the Padres game.
Right.
Yeah, I think that was the last time after games that we all were like, other than I think the gym. Josh wasn't at the gym because he was, having a baby.
Was that
But
nice? Was
other
that
than I
nice
think-
seeing them again at the Padres game? Was that nice?
Yeah. It was like
Yeah.
it was kind of weird because you go from seeing these 4 people all day, every day, all you're doing is hanging out with them. And then you go like right after games, you're like, and you all still live in the same city, but it's just like funny you don't see them every day, so it's kind of weird seeing them at the game again. But it was good.
Did you
Yeah, we
get
had a
to
lot of
throw?
fun.
Did you throw a pitch from the pitcher's mound to the catcher?
Yeah, but we don't want to talk about my pitch.
Oh man.
We all
Oh,
threw
man.
we all threw at once. So we were standing like right in front of the mound, and then
Yeah.
all 4 of us threw at once.
Oh.
Yeah,
Who
it
had
was bad.
the
I definitely.
did Jorge look like he played baseball?
Yeah, sadly he showed all of us up. I was like, you can't put a D1 pitcher next to us. Like that's just not fair. Ugh.
Any chance the team would go again next year together?
No. I think that like Brittany and Jorge have aspirations of going individual. I'm still kind of figuring out what I want to do. Same with Josh. I don't really know his plans. Obviously, he just had a baby. So kind of, I don't really know. Me and Josh are kind of in the same boat, like figuring out if we want to go individual, if we want to go team. But Jorge and Britt are going individual. So the team won't be a thing anymore. Sadly.
If you did go team, you would go team through Invictus again?
Probably. I mean, I haven't really like, no other options have really kind of arisen themselves. Like for example, like if a different team reached out to me or anything like that. But I would do a team one with Invictus again.
And in your head, are there people who you would is there a team that like you're thinking of? Like, oh, I could do a team with this person, this person, this person, this person.
Yeah, there's a few
haven't-
people who, yeah, I'm hoping. We'll see. I don't know how everything's panning out with them and if they've come to a conclusion yet, but definitely still feeling out a few things because I kind of want like it'll just all depends for all the shows in general. Oh, thank you.
What does that mean for the LOML? What's LOML?
Love of my life.
Oh, wow. Oh, for the love of my life, and loving all the shows in general, keep smashing, gang. Awesome, thanks, John. I don't know if I've seen John before in the chat.
Yeah.
Look, you're bringing out new people in the comments.
Hey.
Oh, would you go? Is Danny a possibility to go on a team with? Is that one of the people you're thinking of?
I would love to go team with Danny, but I don't know if she would want to go team. I think, after last season, because I know that she wanted to go team in a couple years and eventually go team. But I think after last season, I think she probably will want to go individual again. But I would love to go team with Danny. That would be a powerhouse team.
And what about, I heard CJ move north. Does that change the dynamics of the training at all? I heard CJ's in Oregon or something now. No.
Not really. Like CJ obviously is like, the foundation of that gym, but the day-to-day coach is like our coach Holden. He's there day in and day out with us. He knows us he knows me more than I know myself. I'll tell you that. Holden I'm very grateful for him, but I don't think it'll change much. I mean, he's still traveling back for like anytime we need him, like any qualifiers or opens or anything like that, like he will be there. And his mom who runs the gym, Karen, she's still there every single day at the gym. So it's kind of like he's right there next to him. So
Hey,
it doesn't really change much.
If you and the Weiss girl and the Fernandez boy and the Chama boy were to get back together, could you guys win the games again?
Yeah, I think we could.
Yeah.
I would like to think so. I think that
What
if
about
we
sending them
got
a
through what we
text? You fucking idiots. Just like that. You fucking idiots.
It'd probably just be like crickets, like dee, dee.
I think it's fair. I mean, just be like, they're like, what? And like, I just have an outburst thinking how stupid we are for not doing
Just
it again.
yeah. Yeah.
God, we're
Just wanted
fucking
to
stupid
yell
for
at you a bit.
not doing it again. Yeah. Jackass.
We definitely could bring home the trophy again next year if we were on a team again.
You
I
could.
would put yeah.
You
I
guys
just
are
feel like it's like
you guys
yeah,
are
we
bad
just have
dudes.
this
You guys are good.
yeah. Yeah, and we have like this chemistry that it's just like and we've like that's one thing I will stand by with our team is like we have this chemistry that will just make you want to die for each other out on that field. So I don't think that there's anything that you could regardless. Like I could literally be like bitching Brittany out right before the event. We get onto the thing and we're like interlocked besties. It's just like I feel like that's how it has to be and when we compete like that, I just don't think that anything could get in our way. I just feel like we have this such a strong bond that it's like I would literally die for those people.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for coming on the show. You're awesome, man. Your parents must be so proud of
Thanks.
you. You're a class act, Devyn. Yeah, you're a wonderful human being.
Thank
Yeah,
you. I
people who have
appreciate you
you in their
having me.
people who have you in their life are lucky. You're a ray of light.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh.
All right, talk to you soon. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for getting up early.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me. I'll talk to you
All right,
soon.
don't go back
I'm
to
gonna
sleep.
go back to
Just
bed
drink.
now.
No, drink more coffee. Don't go back to sleep.
I'm gonna have another cup right now.
All right, bye.
All right, bye, Sevan. Thanks for having me.
Mr. Beaver. Yeah, part of me is sad. Like I was projecting onto her. I want them to stay together. Oh, your mic's muted. Oh, your mic's muted.
Yeah, it would be cool. I just reading some of the comments in the chat. I could see them probably never getting back together.
With the especially Jorge's off to Mayhem.
Yeah. Oh, he is. Oh, that's right.
Sleeky, you're my favorite CrossFit Games athlete, Devyn, and have been for 15 years. Fair enough. Oh, Big Beaver. Everyone loves the Big Beaver. Bernie Gannon, Danny Spiegel doesn't strike me as a team player.
What gives you that impression?
So I got this problem. We have a show scheduled at 6 o'clock today, the CrossFit Games update show. But we also have a show scheduled with Dave Castro. So do I just call? Do I wave off the people from the CrossFit Games update show and tell them, and then just the CrossFit Games update show with Dave Castro? Or do I try to do both shows? I think I'm stupid to try to do both shows. I think I wave off the group and just do the CrossFit Games update show with Dave.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Run them together. What do you mean run them? I don't think I can do that.
That's a lot of people.
Well, no, I think he means back to back. The reason why, I mean, I'm for sure going to do Dave, but the reason why is because Dave will be in studio. I guess I could just be like, we're done. And then the dudes come on.
Yeah, you can do that.
Don't be a vagina. Don't wave off John and Taylor. No, it's not about waving them off like they don't. Well, it's not an option for them to be on the show with him. I don't think.
I was gonna say
shit. I didn't even think of that.
Group show is possible.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Just put them up on the big TV up there so Dave can see them too.
Sure. I feel like Dave deserves his own show though.
Without those dudes just hanging out. I mean, those dudes could just hang out.
Yeah, that's true. It's usually what happens when athletes come on anyway.
Look at this. Let me see if I can. I'm wrong? You think I'm wrong? Maybe you didn't wrestle him?
He looked way younger. When was my? Was that the?
Can you hear the audio on that?
Yeah.
You have a better memory than me. If you don't remember, I because the mom remembered you
white-
too. He had long hair.
I remember
the ball, and it feels so good.
Yeah, I had a lot of those.
But then it's a letdown if you make a crazy shot and it's good, but you don't win the point. You're like, dude, I can't hit it any. That was an amazing shot. I can't hit it any better.
You can always hit it better.
You can.
Yeah, that's what Adam said. Like the world's best tennis player, Djokovic, he can always hit it way better than he can.
So there's always room for improvement.
Yeah.
That's a good mindset. And how about in jiu-jitsu? What are the grad?
It's like numbers. Like numbers go on forever, right? The progress goes on forever. So
What the fuck?
This motherfucker talks in metaphors too. I was like, what the fuck is going on? What? I'm dying.
What
This
the?
fucking kid talks in metaphors. Who the fuck's kid is this?
He's 9.
He came in here last night because I was cleaning up the podcast studio and I was setting up a new camera for Dave coming, and it was late. It was like 9 or 10. He's like, hey, dude, I got to do a podcast. I'm like, no, I'm not letting you do a podcast. He goes, why? I'm like, you'll say crazy shit, dude. You say crazy shit that's like, I think is funny, but the world's going to fucking trip when they find out me and you talk like this. He's like, no, I promise I'll dial that shit back. I'm like, okay, don't fuck around. And so we did it, and he fucking smashed it. So then afterwards he goes, are you going to put that on the internet? And I said, do you think I should? He goes, well, I said the word pussy. He called someone a pussy. That was it. I'm like, that's okay. It was slight. It was chill. You were pretty good. Besides that. Oh my God. Progress is like numbers. They just go on forever. I was like, what the fuck? He's killing me.
I've never heard an adult say that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's not even a metaphor I've ever used. God, it was crazy. I want to do a live show with him, but I am scared. He's capable of anything. He could be like, I don't want him to be like, this one time my dad got so drunk on the couch, he shat himself. I'm like, no, he's joking.
Because kids can't lie.
Yeah. One time my mom was beating him up and he ran, jumped in the car and drove away. Fucking scare me. Say some crazy shit.
Damn.
Phil, yeah, Dad, can we get Burger King again? Yeah. Hey, I did such a great job. Can we go to Burger King like you took me yesterday? What? No, you must be confused. Oh my goodness. All right. So Dave on for sure. I think Susan's going to come here and run the studio.
Sweet.
Yeah. Would love to have you too, Caleb, of course. So Bernie Gannon, he could say anything. I wonder where he gets that from. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Completely guilty of that.
Somebody said he interrupts Sevan like Sevan. Better than
Oh, yeah, he did. He interrupted me like 20 times. I was like, all right, roll with it. I heard him yesterday in I think he was in my room. I heard someone rapping, and I went in there and he was singing all the song, all the words from Colors and dancing. He dances like this, like he's throwing gang signs.
You watched a couple of 90s music videos?
Oh my goodness. I know. I would never take my kid to Burger King. Burger King is gross. I agree. Completely absurd. Disgusting. All right. I'll see you tonight. Oh. What is it? Oh. Oh. Man, it's getting close to Crash Crucible. I'm reading a text message from J.R. Howell.
coming up next week.
Yeah, crazy.
It's gonna be
Did you
awesome.
listen? Did you listen to that podcast that the Lone Ranger podcast with the Lone Ranger and Tonto and Rory McKernan?
No, was it any good?
It's bizarre. It's really weird.
I think it's interesting that Rory went on their show.
Well, I think he's homies with them. He used to work really closely with them. They worked in the same
Oh.
office forever. It is it's bizarro world. It's an hour and like 10 minutes. Lauren Khalil says maybe like, I don't know, 8 seconds of talking. But also, I don't know what the takeaway. It's a trip. It's a trip. It's a trip. Where is CrossFit headed with Rory McKernan? The Lone Ranger podcast number 283.
Oh, okay, I see it.
And I can't really tell what they're trying to get at. I could not tell what they're trying to get at. The premise was interesting. They invited Rory on. The premise was, I should save this for the CrossFit Games update show. But the premise of the podcast was like, hey, how did that email go out from Mayhem that says CrossFit is over? What were you guys trying to do? And Rory's response was, hey, it was a fuck up. We wish we wouldn't have sent it. Like, that was a fuck up. But then they go in and sort of start trying to talk about what's wrong with CrossFit. And it's just, at one point, Rory says, hey, I'm just rambling. I'll give the mic back to you, Lone Ranger and Tonto, to get me back on track. But then it just continued to ramble for another 60 minutes. It was a trip. I can't tell if they are down on CrossFit because they are really down on CrossFit, or if they're down on CrossFit because the media space has changed so much and they're not enjoying their role in it. And so therefore they're projecting their discomfort onto CrossFit Inc. There's something weird going on, though. I would love to get a handful of people on here and analyze the podcast, figure out what exactly is going, what they were trying to say. Oh my goodness, Hiller's video yesterday was crazy. Wow, dude. Wow. Absolutely. Dude, he's a genius. He is a genius, dude.
You want to see somebody like project something in the future?
Say it again.
You want to see somebody like project something in the future, like have the foresight like months in advance? Hiller just pulled that off.
What do you mean? Like he's got some Nostradamus like capabilities?
No, I feel like he planned this out from the games, basically. Because you know how he met with her at the games and they like became friends? Or like they became acquaintances?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I had heard that.
Yeah. I think he leveraged that. It's genius. It's genius.
This is absolutely an amazing video. Outside, I unfortunately I wish it wasn't about Sporty Beth. The big picture is just the clarity and thought that he's having and the connecting, the just all the logic. It's just it's 38 minutes of just logic. And this thing is crazy. I can't believe it has 16,000 views in 21 hours.
That's wild.
Wow. Hey, anyone will enjoy this. It's not mean. I didn't think there was any. If the Bryce one, I felt like got a little mean. Me personally, just made me feel uncomfortable. I'm not saying Andrew was mean. I just felt uncomfortable. This one I didn't think got mean at all. But boy, he really. This Sporty Beth character should send him like $1,000 for just. It's a one crazy therapy session for her. He explains all her unhappiness. If she listens to this, she could set herself free.
You think she will?
Like, hey, dude, I'm kind of like, no, I don't know. No, I don't think so. I'm envious. I'm envious of her. It's so cool that she's like so comfortable being obese, right? It's like, yeah, cool, awesome. I'm stoked for you.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I could be that. You are more comfortable in your body than I am in my body. I get it. You're taking Valium and I'm drinking Sierra Nevadas, but actually I don't drink beer. But you know what I mean. I'm drinking vodka and soda to get comfortable in mine, and you're taking Valiums. But either way, you seem way more comfortable in your body than mine. Awesome. I'm stoked for you. But this thing where you're trying to tell people that it's healthy, I mean, Hiller just, wow.
It's dangerous what she's doing.
Dangerous. Yeah, it's dangerous. It's irresponsible.
Yeah, irresponsible. Good.
Yeah.
But Hiller did a great job.
It has that minor attracted person vibe. Oh, we're switching pedophile to minor attracted person. It's okay. I'm just a minor attracted person. It's got like that. Whoa, whoa. Come back to reality. I hate to say it. People aren't going to like this, but it got that abortion vibe too. Like, oh, it's women's what do they call it? What do they call baby killing? Us pro-choice people, we call baby killing women's medical rights or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, we got to. It's like, whoa, hold on a second. Your medical rights involve a baby? Yeah, of course. Hey, it's my choice. It's fucking crazy. Yeah, she got some of that going on.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, at one point she said 30 pounds isn't a lot. Let me tell you, 30 pounds is a shit ton.
Oh yeah,
for any person.
At one point, I weighed like 220 something, like 220-ish, and since then I've lost about 15, 20 of those pounds, and it's just made a world of difference. Like my joints don't hurt as much. Like
how about your gymnastics? Better. Your pull-ups get crazy, right? And your push-ups get crazy. Yeah.
I lost 5 pounds and I was able to do 3 more pull-ups than I normally do.
Yeah.
Like it's simple.
Yeah. Should I sit down and watch Hiller's Sporty Beth video? Dude, I'm telling you, you will enjoy it so much. I wouldn't even play it at 1.25 time. I would play it at 1 time and just sit down with like a bowl of cereal and watch it. A box of cereal and a gallon of milk. It's so good.
You might go through two bowls of cereal during it.
Sometimes I watch Hiller stuff, or I watch my stuff, or I watch someone's stuff, and I'm watching stuff just to like make sure I'm up to speed on things. And I'm like kind of have to grind through it, right? Okay, I'm watching the Lone Ranger podcast, and I don't really want to watch it, but I want to be up to speed on what's going on. Like I'm doing research. Dave's weekend review. Like I'm like, okay. And I'm watching 1.25 time. This Hiller one is not like that. You're going to be completely, fully engaged and entertained. Like you're watching Black Hawk Down or something.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I could eat a whole. Yeah, get a box of grape nuts, a gallon of whole milk, and 27 packets of sugar, and watch this.
I used to do that as a kid too.
Oh God, grape nuts and sugar, so good.
I have no idea why.
I walked down the cereal aisle yesterday. I rarely go to. I went to Safeway because my son's birthday's coming up, so I had to get a bunch of cheap sparkling water. So I went to Safeway. I almost never go there. I always just go to the local mom and pop stores. But I went there with Avi, and I walked us down the cereal aisle. And I swear, like, we don't have sugar in our house, but if we did, I would have bought the grape nuts and a gallon of milk. Because I'm like, oh, I want to get this and just do this. I haven't done this in 15 years. But then I'm like, where am I going to get the sugar at? I don't think he owns sugar.
Yeah.
I know. I agree. Grape nuts. What the fuck is wrong with you? I have no pushback. I know. Hey, you have to let them get mushy. You pour the bowl, and then you come back, and then you cover it with sugar on top. I mean, a huge bowl.
Oh, yeah.
And then you come back, and it's just soft.
And they use the big spoon for the sugar.
Yes.
It's stupid.
It's amazing. Oh, yeah. Let them get so soggy. Yeah, the Hiller video's out of control. I like it when he has to take the weight vest off because it gets too heavy.
It's uncomfortable.
They also played all day. And if I couldn't keep up, they're like, dude, come on, let's go. Keep up with us. It was motivational for me. I wanted to do more. And me as a 12 to 4.
By the way, Hiller, you are lighter skin, but you look great there. You're not pale by any means. I like your skin color there, your skin tone.
14-year-old do that. Beth, you are older than 12 to 14. You can make these sorts of same decisions that I made as a 14-year-old. You can change your life. All you gotta do is change the way that you think about it.
People that are fat, like me, and have the cheek to exist on the internet get constantly body shamed.
There we go. This is important. What is shame? I looked it up, the word shame, because I hear it a lot. A painful feeling of humiliation or distress caused by the consciousness of wrong or foolish behavior. Now, you look at that and you go, oh, shame's a bad thing. But then you want to look at the word feeling, because shame is a feeling. It says so, a painful feeling. All right, let's go look up what the word feeling means. Feeling is an emotional state or reaction. All right, and it is also a belief, especially a vague or irrational one. And we're already working our way into the spot where we can look at shame being a feeling as something that is vague and irrational, and it is also a belief. I want to go one step further, and we're going to go look at the word belief. A belief is an acceptance that a statement is true and that something exists. So we have body shaming. Shaming is a feeling. A feeling is a belief, and a belief is the acceptance that something you are saying is actually true. So, Beth, you are in control of determining whether or not you think that any of this stuff is actually true. And just like I can take off the...
Dude, someone needs to fucking clip that.
That's so good.
That's fucking Jordan Peterson shit. Or fucking just holy shit. Hey, that's why it makes no sense to be a Democrat. They give away everything. It's just all it stops at feelings. They don't take any responsibility. They don't go to like the fact that, hey, you can change it between your ears. Ugh. Bye-bye, Mr. Wayne. Good to see you, brother. Thumbnail for Dave Castro. Thumbnail for Dave Castro. Well, if Bruce is leaving, I'm leaving.
Me too.
All right, good. I'll see you guys at 6 p.m. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but